May I ask everyone to please rise as we prepare to enter a moment of prayer and open our hearts and minds to the divine presence.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing everyone here safely. We are gathered here today for this wonderful and beautiful purpose. We commit this ceremony into your care. Come and share this occasion. Preserve and protect everyone here from any harm. Let this ceremony go on smoothly without a hitch and let us fulfill our purpose for being here today. Keep us from bad weather and help us, Lord God, to be able to have discernment and learn from our speakers for today. Let us sail through the ceremony without any inconveniences. Cleanse whatever food or drink that we will be served here today, and let your love lead every speaker here today. And let us end with you just as we started. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome Ice Hilario as your host for this exciting afternoon. Ice is a powerhouse entrepreneur, a seven-figure earner, and a founder of Run By Systems, a Christ-centered digital marketing agency with nearly a decade of experience in operations and digital marketing. She's a master at crafting strategies that drive results. Ice is also a sought-after coach and speaker, known for her practical insights and ability to inspire action. As a wife and mother of three, she understands the importance of balancing work and family life. We are thrilled to have her energy and expertise here today as we dive into the world of wealth creation for Filipino freelancers. To join her is Shem Algarado. With over 4 years of experience in the fintech startup world, Shem is a seasoned marketing manager known for her strategic thinking and innovative approach to launching and scaling digital platforms. Notably, she played a pivotal role in developing a groundbreaking financial platform for Philippine cooperatives, demonstrating her commitment to leveraging technology for positive impact. We are honored to have her as our host today, sharing her insights and expertise to help us succeed financially. Shem is a freelance project marketing manager, bringing her real-world experience to this event. Please welcome Miss Ice and Shem.
Alright! Hello everybody!
Hello everyone! We're so excited to have you here today.
Thanks so much, Shem. Alright, before anything else, I would like to, of course, ask everyone to give us your energy. You know what, Shem? Actually,
Yes,
what makes a very good event? Do you know the elements? What makes a good event?
Can you share the details for that, Miss Ice?
Right? Do you know the best? All right. What makes a great event is that if we have a very good crowd.
I agree with
Yeah,
you,
that-
Miss Eyes.
All right. So I just want to make sure that you give us your energy. All right. And every time that we're gonna ask for your participation, we would like to definitely ask you to give us so much energy because later on we do have a lot of guests and they actually flew all the way from the United States. All right. And of course, we as a Filipino, we're very known because of our hospitality, right? Tayo ba mga Pilipino, marunong tayo mag-welcome ng guest?
Do you agree with Miss Eyes?
Marunong ba tayo? Parang hindi, parang mahina. I think you're not getting what I need, alright? Sabi nila, high energy, high income, Shem. Do you believe that?
Yes.
High energy, high income. Kaya dapat, when I say that we need to welcome our guests, we need to welcome our guests. Everybody, so when I say high energy, you say high income. Alright? High energy,
High income!
there you go. I think they're ready, Shem. All right. So before anything else, again, my name is Ice Hilario, and I'm going to be one of your hosts. And today, I'm very, very thrilled because we're not just having a lot of our local, very influential people on the finance industry, but we're also bringing in somebody all the way from the United States later on. You're going to be able to have the privilege to actually listen and be able to catch on everything that will give you the leverage, all right, on how you can actually have financial freedom. Do you like that, Shem?
Yes, I am so excited, Miss Eyes. And also, just to introduce myself, I am Shem, your co-host for this exciting event. On behalf of Wealth Creators Live and Compass Retirement Solutions, we sincerely thank each and every one of you for joining us here today. And actually, Miss Eyes, I see our team from the Wealth Creators and Compass. So, can I hear a woohoo from the Compass team? Alright. Okay, malakas ba, Miss Eyes?
I think medyo mahina ng konti. Wealth Compass and diba? Retirement Compass and Golf Creator. So you have to bring in the best shout, all right?
Okay. Once again, can I hear a woohoo from the Team Combat? Okay. And this time, now can I hear a woohoo from Wealth Creators? Okay. I can feel their energy now, Miss Eyes.
All right, so before we actually go on, we would like to thank a lot of sponsors for today. One of our sponsors is Facial Gel, all right? Experience everyday freedom and healthy skin with Facial Gel. Next is Nigerol. Nigerol, stop fungi, stop dandruff with Nigerol, the number one antifungal shampoo in the Philippines, and Tusaran, ubo, sipon, at headache. Talo lahat sa lakas ng Tusaran Forte. Santi Barley, certified pure organic barley grass from New Zealand. Advantage Creative Media Incorporated, full service advertising. And of course, Blooming Gales, the most trusted flower shop in Manila. And of course, Fernseed, ascorbic acid plus zinc, Fernseed plus, sigurado ka. At Atomy, Atomy is an absolute quality, absolute price. Sun Color, never be an option, always be the choice. There you go. We do have some media partners as well, Shan, right?
Yes. And for the next part of our program, before we dive into today's incredible session, we have a chance for 4 lucky attendees to win 1,000 worth of Gcash each. We will be picking 2 winners from Instagram and 2 winners from Facebook.
Right, amazing. Grabe, pumunta na kayo, nagkapera pa kayo. Palakpakan naman! There you go. You'll never know what I'm saying, but later on, you're going to be surprised. All right, so everybody, of course, we are going to announce, as long as you're going to use our hashtag Marvin.
Alright, let me share with you, Miss Ice, the
Go ahead.
mechanics of this contest. So to enter, simply post a photo from today's event on either Facebook or Instagram. If you're posting on Facebook, make sure to follow and tag our official Facebook page, Marvin Mitchell, and use the hashtag Marvin Goes to PH. For our Instagram users, on the other hand, don't forget to follow Marvin's official Instagram account at Marvin Official and tag it in your Instagram post. Of course, the hashtag, still use it, hashtag Marvin Goes to PH.
Yes, all right, don't forget, all right? That's going to be all throughout the event. You just have to type in, post it on your feed, post it on your stories, and definitely somebody's going to take home 1,000 pesos. All right, we're gonna be drawing 4 lucky winners for today. All right, the photo with the most likes on each platform wins. So get snapping, get sharing, and let's see those creatives post. All right, we'll announce the winners at the end of the event. So please do stick around. And ito pa, Shem, you know what? We are actually gonna give away something later on at the end of the event. So please do stay because I think it's super nice. Everything that has been prepared for you coming from our major sponsors, which is Wealth Creators and Retirement Compass, all right? Of course, Marvin, Mitchell, and Octavia, right? We're gonna be giving you some exciting gifts at the end of the show. All right, there you go. So, before anything else, gusto niyo na bang mag-start? Everybody, are you ready to start? Because we need to have some energy. I need to have a lot of clap and shout together, all right? Ready na ba kayo? Dito sa harap, medyo malakas ang energy, ha? I like this table, ha? All right, how about the people at the back? I need some energy. Ready na ba kayo? There you go, all right? Here we go. All right, freelancers, we're going to be talking about working with global talent, focusing on foreign clients' perspective. All right, here we go. It's time to go global. Let's welcome our power panel of business leaders and experts with first-hand experience working with an incredible talent pool in the Philippines. All right, let's go, Shem. So these professionals have unlocked the potential of Filipino freelancers to grow their business and these challenges. All right, so Shem, who do we have as our very first?
All right, for our first panelist, we have Octavia Jackson.
Woo-hoo! All right, everybody, can we have another round of applause for Octavia? There you go. There you go. Woo-hoo!
And for our second panelist, we have John Chid. And now for our third panelist, we have Rio Espinosa.
All right. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be exciting. All right. So everybody, there you go, there you go. There you go. All right. So for today, we invited a lot of experts, all right, subject matter experts, just to be able to give you insights, all right, how to be able to work with full of talents, especially Filipino talent, right? Okay, here we go. I think this first question is going to go for Octavia. Here we go.
Okay, Octavia, for your question. Octavia, as our client representative from the US, you've had extensive experience working with Filipino freelancers. Can you share your experience and tell us what makes them stand out from the rest?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yay!
First and foremost, I want to, before I answer your question, before I get into Filipino talent, the Filipino hospitality that Ms. Ice just mentioned, thank you so much, you guys, for being so warm, so inviting. It really means a lot to us. Our Filipino talent is the best talent. The best talent, yes. Come on, guys. The best talent. Our experience just being US based and having Filipino talent is more than just Filipino talent, but actually diving deep into the desires of our Filipino talent's hearts, making sure that not only do we know their talent, but we know what it is that they truly, bring to the table. What is it that they want to bring to the table? I think where a lot of people go wrong when they hire um, talent from the Philippines is not really utilizing their full strength. So I think we think about what is it that we can outsource or help that we can get to do tasks. This is more than tasks, this is talent, raw talent, and putting our talent into position to actually fulfill their dreams and their desires and to utilizing their skills. And so this has been an awesome, awesome experience. I'm so glad to be here with our team.
Thank you so much for that wonderful answer, Olivia. And of course, we are all so happy to have you guys here. So thank you so much. Guys, Olivia and Marvin flew all the way from US to be able to share their knowledge with us today. So why don't we give them a round of applause? Okay, for the next question, this is still for you, Olivia. Okay, what's one unique quality or skill that you've consistently observed Filipino freelancers that makes them indispensable to your team?
Easy to answer. Attention to detail. The attention to detail, the spirit of excellence, excellence in every single thing that's done, which is one of our heart and core values at our company at Compass Retirement Solutions, is truly being excellent, detailed, service, world-class service, whatever service base that you're providing. That has been my observation, my experience, and very easy.
I would like to thank you from the bottom of every Filipino heart. We would like to, your appreciation, you trying to do a lot of jobs for Filipino. You and Marvin, thank you so much. And we really, really are blessed to have, employers like you. Thank you so much. All right. So with that being said, I would like to ask John and Rio, this question is for you, right? So we both work closely with Filipino freelancers and have deep insights into the industry. From your perspectives, what are the key factors that separate freelancers who thrive financially from those who struggle? All right, let's go, ladies first. All right, let's go, Rio.
Hello.
There you go.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. So, what separates a freelancer that thrives and succeeds financially versus those who aren't are, several qualities. One of which is consistency. Being able to start maybe a task and see through it until the very end. Because if you're not consistent, you'd have to start over. You're not really going forward. You're not really making progress. Being successful is being consistent. So if I would to tie it back to financial success, one of the qualities that a freelancer should have, not only in terms of finances but also in life, is consistency. Second is the integrity to be able to make sure that what they started gets see through at the very end, and having that value in themselves to knowing what to prioritize. Because as a freelancer, we may get, distracted with a few things along our way, especially when we talk about our finances, but knowing what really is your main priority, going back to what your goal is, and taking actions and removing that limiting belief from yourself. Those qualities is what is going to make you stand out as a freelancer. And those are the qualities we want to see in this generation of Filipino virtual professionals.
Thank you. 100% agree. Do you agree, everybody? Does that deserve a round of applause? Thank you. You have to top that. You have to top it. All right, here we go. Let's go, John.
Thank you. I was about to say, can I just copy her answer?
Right?
Maybe one key quality, this is something very Filipino as well. I want to share that with you. Anyone here is familiar with the word malasakit?
Yes.
Yes. Do you agree that that's something that's uniquely Filipino? Yes. So I think that that quality, the malasakit that we have, that's one core value that makes us different. So malasakit is practically compassion, but something deeper. So it's ironic because malasakit, one of the root words is sakit, which is pain. So malasakit is pain, but malasakit as a word is also compassion. So we Filipinos have that sense of compassion in what we do. And I think as virtual professionals, we put that compassion into what we do. The attention to detail, the consistency, that's all coming from, rooted from our idea of malasakit and our core idea of family. So we treat, this is very practical, this is very common, right? Most Filipinos treat work as if it's already part of family, it's part of their life. Work-life balance isn't as easy to separate. For Filipinos, really makes us up. There's a lot of team buildings, there's a lot of things to do with your group as if they're family. So I think malasakit as a quality is something that's uniquely Filipino and something that really pushes us to succeed wherever we are. So I think that's it.
Right. Grabe. That deserves a round of applause, right? So I love it. Giving us something that everybody can relate to. Malasakit. Got that. All right, this question is actually for everybody. All right. So, in your experience, why do you think some Filipino freelancers or VAs or virtual assistants struggle to build long-term wealth despite their talent and hard work? What are the most common obstacles they face, and what advice would you give to overcome those challenges? All right, so let's just go with. I'm gonna go with John. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a lot of things to process. Maybe I'll try to answer it one by one. What is the struggle in terms of building wealth or building finances, right? So of course, the common answer is financial literacy. Like how do we actually look at money? How do we acknowledge the use of money, right? Of course, for most of us, even I can relate. I am a breadwinner, so the money is really just I get this, I pay for this. This is for my family, and then I wait for the next pay. I get the money, I use it to buy things. I think that's common. But I think when we elevate our financial literacy, we also look at the longer term, right? Now, addressing to the question of building wealth or being able to stabilize your income, I think it's also great for us to consider how can we actually um, have that partnership with whatever work we are doing, right? So in the context of freelancing, so if I look at my client as if I'm just here to do the task, then it would really be short term. But if I'm here to look at my client, he or she hired me for this task, but I'm here to give him or her everything that he or she needs. But of course, not going too much overboard, right? But giving as much as I can that is in my capacity, that is in my pay grade, and in the things that I can give. That gives you a longer term partnership with that client, and trust is built, a relationship is built, and from there, it gives the idea, or it builds the idea that you can have better finances or better um, income, you need to say, with that client and even grow that client. So with that, I think that's when you can start building or planning long term. Yeah, making sense.
Yes, definitely making sense. It's like a blessing and curse, right? Too much giving, right? So thank you so much for that. And now, of course, another Filipino before we go for the last but not the least. All right, let's go, Rio. What's your take on this? Go.
Hello? Yep. So one of the challenges, I think that this question also speaks some volume to me in my personal experience. So one of the challenges that I think majority, if not all, of the Filipino freelancers or virtual professional in my generation is one, knowing what to really prioritize. Um, in a household where you are a family and you're trying to help each other out, how do I plan, how do I budget, this is the income that I have, and having that first hand knowledge really plays a great role in being more successful, in being more financially literate, and in being more conscious about prioritizing your goals. So that is something of an opportunity that not most of us have just yet. And most likely this is a work in progress
Hindi
for
pa
the
po.
majority of us.
Pero okay
So
lang.
knowing
Okay, hindi
what
pa
your
naman ako
priorities
gusto.
are and Um, at the
Oh,
same
CR lang.
time,
Sige, ako naman.
making sure that you have a clear path,
Magbabantay lang.
having the steps, and at the same time being able to look forward into what the future could bring. Because most of us would often just think about today, right? To survive today, to make it through today. But today doesn't end today. There will be tomorrow, there will be next month, upcoming years, your retirement. We aren't thinking of those just yet or far ahead just yet. So being able to really focus and think about those what could haves and what should haves is really a great help for us freelancers. And if we do have that kind of knowledge, what to prioritize and how do we think about what's next, what's the next big thing, then we'd be more successful.
Thank you so much, alright.
Thank you, Rio. Actually, I do agree with you because as Filipinos, we are very family oriented and it can get quite overwhelming sometimes. So, as you've mentioned earlier, it's really important to plan everything out and anticipate what might happen in the future.
Correct, correct. Did you know that actually all less than 10% of Filipinos actually are very knowledgeable about insurance? So that's really saddening. So that's actually like roughly, right? 10%. And we're not really like well aware of all of these preparation for the future. And that's something that we are very, very grateful because later on you're going to learn a lot, right? So this time around, let us hear it from Octavia. What's your take on this? Sorry about that. Can we get another mic? Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's okay. Just from being on the other side of it, I would say you have to decide who do you want to show up as. Who do you want to show up as? Even if you're hired to do a certain task or a certain thing and your foot is in that door, you have already decided who do I want to show up as, and you be that. And I think that it sets you apart. And as Rio was saying, and John was saying as well, that you have to decide, have a plan in place, and that comes in part with knowing who you want to be, who you want to show up as, and having that plan in place. I believe Rio knew, she didn't know the path, but she knew who she wanted to be, who she wanted to show up as. And although she was given a task, it's like, no, I am this, and I'm going to give this. And I think that sets the way for you as long as you have that path in mind, as long as you know who you are, whose you are, and how you show up in that space. So definitely.
All right.
Hello. I think that also comes in with what you mentioned earlier about self-limiting beliefs. That I think for some or for a number of Filipinos it might come across as a problem. So maybe we really have to first acknowledge who do we want to be, and we have to let go of those self-limiting beliefs because at the end we are a global talent. We are not just Filipinos in a third world country. We are a global talent, and we have to acknowledge that, and we ourselves have to accept that for us to really utilize or really push forward and become successful and later on financially be successful as well. So yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. I think that alone deserves another round of applause, everybody. I think we have learned from each of this their perspective. Thank you so much. And of course, because of that, you all deserve something. All right, we have prepared something for you. We would like to, of course, give you some token of appreciation for being just to be right here. All right. So
All right. May we call on Eman and Yuki to please give the flowers to our panelists as a token of our appreciation.
all right, and of course, we would like to acknowledge Blooming Gales for our flower sponsors. There you go. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Picture taking.
All right. Quick reminder: our Facebook and Instagram contest is still ongoing. Share a photo from today's event on your wall. Tag and follow Marvin Mitchell on Instagram and at Marvin Mitchell on Facebook. And of course, use the hashtag Marvin goes to PH to win 1,000 Gcash e-wallet balance. So don't miss out, everybody.
Thank you so much. And of course, we would like to also acknowledge our media partners. We do have Manila Bulletin, we got Philippine Star, we have Business Mirror, we got Philippine Daily Inquirer, Manila Standard, the Daily Tribune, the Village Connect, Chinese Commercial News, we got Experience Travel and Living, DWIZ, When in Manila, Sunshine Media Network International, Manila Times, Malaya, and Infographics. All right, thank you so much to our media partners.
All right, now for the next part of our program, let us now discuss creating mindsets and systems for wealth building.
Amazing, amazing. All right, of course, this time around, we would like to start, all right, calling, of course, our distinguished guests for this second round of panel discussion. All right,
Okay, so for our first panelist, we have Ria Kang.
here we go. It's so much. All right,
Up next, our second panelist is Jab Yapa.
all right, here we go.
All right, so let's get started with our discussion. Ria and Jab, how are you guys?
So good. So good to be here.
How are you feeling?
Doing great.
You know, a man of very few words,
Yes.
Jab. All right, of course, just to be able to also let them know, currently they are both coming from Wealth Creators and Retirement Compass, right? Can you actually tell us about your current role in Wealth Creators and Retirement Compass?
So I am actually the COO of Wealth Creators LLC. So my main role for the Wealth Creators is really to manage the business operations from end to end. So I'm COO meaning integrator. So my main purpose is really to integrate different functions of the business and then overseeing it. And Wealth Creators is actually a startup company. It was started last year. And my role was like activate in terms of building department teams, and that's where I started. And right now we already have more than 10 staff working for the Wealth Creators, and we are actually like building income, and we have the more mentees coming in our business.
All right, so Jab, my first question for you is how did you start your freelancing journey and how were you able to build wealth through it?
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Shem. So I just want to start my story how I started freelancing. I actually like I think 3, 4, 5 years ago, I'm actually like a job hopper. In just 2 years, I already have like 8 jobs. Yeah, 8 jobs. But and then I was and I'm also living in the province in Mindanao area from Davao in Cotabato. So the opportunities is very limited. So there's a need I felt that there's a need in terms of going beyond to my comfort zone. So um and so in that sense I create my own opportunities. And I think that's who I am really. I don't wait for opportunities to come to me, but I create my own opportunities. And with that as well, I do have a lot of dreams, right? Like building wealth for myself, for my family. But in the corporate jobs, it actually limiting me in terms of my income or earnings potential. And actually, my passion is internet and technology. So that's where I discovered freelancing. And that's where currently I'm experiencing like getting wealth and achieving gradually my financial goals. So thank you so much for
Grabe
freelancing.
naman
And thank you so
yan!
much for Marvin.
Yeah! Yes, there you go, boss. Of course, we would like to know currently what's your role in Retirement Compass, and the same question as well. Can you please
Thank you.
answer? Ria can.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to be here. It's humbling to see all of you people. First of all, I would like to honor your time and to thank everyone for just being here, giving us that gift of time. I'm from, if you've seen me earlier, I was shouting when we say Compass Retirement Solution, and I say woohoo, and I also was with Wealth Creators. I started with Wealth Creator as in the operations side of things. It was a side hustle, I would say. But then I've been found with Marvin, saw that I was actually the head of the HR and recruitment. So I'm now the global HR and compliance for Compass Retirement Solution. Thank you. And guys, this is overwhelming, but it was in all gratitude. I would not even call myself a leader, but I would say that I'd love to be called a talent and culture enabler because what I do is kind of like a chief of fun. So when people see me or the team sees me, I know that I create that kind of culture because when businesses are growing, I think that's the challenges that we're seeing. We're seeing that people will be delivering the products, the service, and all, but in the long term, the problem is the retention. So that's what I am actually handling. And I know there's not much question, but that's me. Yeah.
Follow-up question, Ria. So what was your life like before freelancing and what motivated you to make the transition?
So once upon a time, I'm just joking. I'm seeing everyone like, okay, all right. So I am in the corporate setup. I would say I was from the business process outsourcing for more than a decade. Name a position, I might be on that position. Operations, back end, quality, workforce. And so I went around, like around it. But at the last portion of it, before the pandemic, I was actually the head of human resource for and have grown that business for over 400% of its headcount, even during the pandemic. But I'm not sure about all of you. Everyone has a dream for sure, right? If I ask you right now, why are we working? Like, why can't we just stay home? Be with our family and loved ones. Can we do that? I just want to see a nod, or maybe no. How a woohoo for those who can stop working right now and say, I'm okay. No woohoo. That means we all work, right? Yes. So typically, we all have dreams, and I have dreams. Mine is to have that time freedom. I have kids, they're growing up. Actually, they're teens right now. You can see them, okay, they're late, but yeah, they're coming here. And growing up, when they're growing up, I would say an absent mom. I'm not always with them. And time's so fast. Like you would just see them little kids and all of a sudden they're growing. And something that you cannot go back to is actually time. You cannot buy time. Even if after 5 years you tell them, just wait for me, I'm gonna give you time and you have more money, do you think you can buy time back? So that's where I'm coming from right now. And that's where I moved from that. And I just know what I did in pandemic. I Googled freelancing because I didn't know what that is. It's like free. There's something free. And then freelancing. Does that mean freedom of time? And that's where I started going through it. And the rest I'll just share later. I don't want to bore you inside. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure every mom here actually relates, right? Do we have a mom in the crowd? There are mommies here. There you go. Of course, I think everybody relates to Ria, especially during the time of transition, right? During the pandemic. All right. Next question.
All right. For the next question, this is for the both of you. How do you define wealth building through freelancing, and why is it important to have the right mindset from the start? Let's start with Jack.
Okay. So sometimes it's really hard to equate wealth building and then freelancing. So we don't know how to create wealth through freelancing. It's very new for everyone, right? But definitely the answer for that one is you have to tap the global market. Freelancing is an opportunity for you not to limit yourself to this like current market, like Philippine market. Okay, like for example, if you start with the physical business, milk tea coffee shops, you are limited to a certain market, certain location only. But for the wealth building, you just need to offer like a provide offer with a range of services and then tap the global clientele. And that's where you can start build wealth and you start build portfolio as well. And that would actually increase your financial security and financial freedom then. Why? Because you're diversifying your income stream. You're not relying to a single source of income na nasa physical lang. But you're also expanding your earnings or your streams of income, but globally. And that's where you can start building wealth.
All right, thank you for that, Jab. And same question for you, Ria. How do you define wealth building through freelancing, and why is it important to have the right mindset from the start?
Thanks, Sham. I totally agree with what you said. And for me, when I hear the word wealth, at first when I was a kid, I thought wealth was like gold coins. Who agree with that? Like, wealth is like jewelry, diamonds, or big houses or cars. And yes, that's wealth. But as I grow up, I realized that wealth is beyond that. When I had my slip disc, is that knows with slip disc for working like 16 hours a day and a few sleeps. I realized that wealth can be health. Wealth can be quality time. So for me, defining that to start with, what do we have right now that where we can build wealth? That's our talent. Not everyone thinks that they have God gifted talent. But I tell you, I've interviewed, I've processed thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of resumes. I've talked to Filipino talents that has been sourced by offshore clients because offshore clients are actually cramming to look for Filipino talent, and that's why I'm so passionate in telling this as an HR, someone who's processing applications. Because Filipinos are different when they work. And I really resonate when Katie says that totally different than the output. And I feel like most of us thinks that right now the work that we're doing is just because we have to earn. But sometimes we have to ask ourselves, are the things that we're doing right now aligned with what we really want to do? And you would say, Ria, that's crazy. Okay? Because it's hard to really find yourself and know what you want and earn from it. But for me, because it's God's gift, it's totally different from what the world is saying. But that passion will start you from something because there's a whole world out there looking for the talent that you actually have right now. The thing is, we have to be good steward of it. We set aside our dreams when we were kids, but that dream, no, when I was a kid, I was selling like paper dolls, and or maybe that's all right, entrepreneur, and I was identifying people, I was talking to them, and you thought it's just, oh, that's just my passion. But actually, that can be a passion turned to purpose, turned to wealth. And if you would, I've seen Darbs earlier, I know that Chinkee is here, and Marvin's here, Chinkee here, and they know for those who are successful right now, being surrounded by successful people, if you ask them, definitely I would know that they'd say that it's something that they love to do right now because they keep on going and going and going. So I don't know if I'm making sense here, but I'm just actually saying that stewardship of the gift that was given to us, if we don't recognize that yet, I think it's the first thing that we need to do. Not look out there of what the social media is saying, or what the world's saying that you have to get this course and this course and this course. Believe me, guys, I have like 100 courses that I haven't used. Sorry about those people that are, but yes, but there are some that are really good because sometimes it doesn't resonate with you. But the thing is, find it within you. What are you good at? A few tips, get clipped and find your strength. What's your top five strength? What are you good at? Or there's a lot of personality tests, and you know, the more that you know yourself, the more you can be confident, the more that you will be able to recognize what you can offer globally.
All right. So, Rhea, just a follow-up question. So, some people in the audience are freelancers, but some of them are also aspiring freelancers. Do you think that there's opportunity for them out there?
Oh, definitely. Without batting an eyelash, I would say yes, yes, yes. But sometimes because I would say this because we're coming from a third world country, and nothing against our parents, but our parents would tell us, and please raise your hand if you heard this when you were a kid. Your mom or your parents or your grandfather, grandmother would say, I'll say it in Tagalog, mag-aral ka mabuti na. Ito na ipapamana ko sa'yo. In English, please study hard. This is all what we can give to you. Anyone have heard it? Just me? Oh, I think almost everyone in the room, right? We've heard it, if not from our relatives. And I think that's something that sticks to us, and that's becoming our inner voice, or that voice when we grow up, and that limits us. And I heard Shin earlier saying that there's like the mindset. So I think that's something, if you are pursuing right now, or if you're coming from the corporate, by the way, I just resigned from my full-time job here in the Philippines, first quarter, so.
Wait. That deserves a round of applause. She just resigned, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't resign from the work that I have with Marvin. I'll be staying there because it's really good, but I meant just like here in the Philippines. Yeah. Because so I'm just giving you hope that um, even though others have started, your journey is your journey. What you have right now, no matter how small, if you're a good steward of it, try to find that within you and what you can do. So switch your mindset from instead of the entitlement, okay, here's what I can do, switch it to serving. How can I serve better? Because if you are coming from a place of serving, then you're actually the clients are appreciative of that. So yeah.
Just to add lang din, no? So I really want to encourage everyone really to believe in freelancing. Why? Everyone has potential to earn like more income earnings unlimited. But everyone also has transferable skills. No? Kasi sabi nila, bakit wala na, I don't have any experience to do freelancing, I am not capable of doing the customer service or the SMM, but that's not true. You know what? I actually like most of people in the world creators, we hire them without experience in freelancing, like yeah, Rhea, Shem, JZ. But what I really saw is that there is a potential, and transferable skills is very important. You have to identify what is your transferable skills, and that's really matter in terms of starting freelancing. No? For example, BPO ka, customer service. What are the transferable skills that you can use for your freelancing? Which is communication, handling customer. And so freelancing, it's all about client communication. For example, you are a marketing manager of corporate. You can use that in the freelancing. So it's all about knowing your transferable skills and finding the right opportunities for you.
All right.
Very well said. Very well said.
Yes, actually, for those of you who don't know, actually, most of you don't know, but Jab introduced me to this freelancing world, and he just opened my perspective because I thought that we have to fit inside this box. You know, we were taught that you have to work at a certain job, but you know, there's a whole lot of little world out there, as what Ria mentioned. So, yes.
All right. Okay. So question number 3. What are the key mindset shifts that individuals need to make to start building wealth through freelancing? All right, let's start with Leah.
I think it would be for us because we start when we say freelancing, oh, it's a side hustle. And yes, you can start with a side hustle. If you are someone, because this is fresh for me, I have been in the 9 to 5 job, and I'm still, we just call it 9 to 5, but more so of the work that we have right now, and we try to do a side hustle or like a small projects, try to go upward or online jobs page, or even go out there and just put our resumes and profile. Um, it's a side hustle, but treat it as a business, as it is a business. Like how you start and invest in yourself, because sometimes you would say that it's very expensive to get a course or try to hone a skill, but actually it is an investment. And even if you have like that job and you're doing it on the side, if you're treating it as a business, definitely for you, you give your best. You're not gonna give 50% or 95% as much as you can, because that's also where it's like for me, it was actually an escape for me of a 9 to 5. And again, we have different perspective on that. We can go to 9 to 5. Just me, I just have bigger dreams. So technically, I would have that mindset that okay, this is a business, and in my free time, instead of me watching, I don't have Netflix anymore. I haven't watched for a long time. I would have contact with my family, but anything else that I think I can switch and use it to invest, to learn, and to add value to myself for that business, I do that because the sacrifice that I do right now is actually giving an ROI in the future.
Correct, correct. 100% agree. All right, how about Jab? Jab, do you have any perspective on this?
Yeah, very short lang. It's for me when I started actually, you need to have the right mindset in terms of confidence. No? You need to be confident sa papasukin mo. You need to be confident to the work that you'll be doing in the freelancing. At the same time, you seek opportunities. No? I want to repeat this one that don't wait for opportunities. You find them, you create your own opportunities. And I think that's what really matters because that's what actually hinders people. No? They're very scared. They're just waiting for opportunities. But the opportunities is already there. The internet is there. The resources is there. ChatGPT is there. So there's no other reason or excuses for you not to take action. So you find opportunities instead of waiting.
Yes, totally agree. We have to create our opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and of course, our last question for this panel session. How do you prioritize financial goals, and what strategies do you recommend for achieving them as a freelancer? All right, this time around, let's go for Jeff.
Okay. 3 points lang naman for me. The first is you need to track your expenses, spending. And in all, ginagawa ko yan. I do that. I think money manager. Every day, every expenses that I made, Gcash, I always track it immediately. Knowing your data. And then after that, you set financial goals. So what are the financial goals that, like, for example, house, emergency fund, you like 30%, you allocate that to a certain savings. For example, you want to do travel. So you know your data, you know your expenses, and then um, um, you know your expenses and you know your goals. So the next would be how to get money. You know? How to get more income streams. In that sense, that's where freelancing comes in. You know? Don't limit yourself like coffee shop or build a business, physical business. So freelancing is another income stream that you can do. Freelancing is not all about like you do the work. There's a lot of things there. Digital products. You can sell digital products like you can learn Canva and then sell it via templates. You can earn retainer like 500 pesos, 30K. So there's a lot of things. So 3 things, you track your expenses, and then you set financial goals, short, long-term goals, savings, and then that's it.
Yes, thank you so much. All right. So very easy to execute, I think, right? So this time around, what's going to be your answer on this? What's again to ask you this question? How do you prioritize financial goals, and what strategies do you recommend for achieving them as a freelancer?
When you're doing, I know that a lot of us are doing this January or start of the year, we do our goals. The problem is that we don't follow through. Or sometimes we follow it because we're not tracking. I've heard Rio says consistency. And for me, and I realized this later on in my life that me being busy, I thought that I was actually creating wealth, but being busy doesn't mean I'm productive. So instead I switched it in wealth building right now. I would really set time for myself and just sit down and remove all of the chaos, because when you understand your strength, when you understand, the more that you understand yourself, the more that you understand how you position yourself. And that's also when you start, I really advise you guys journal. It says in the Bible, if you write something, that's more likely when you're writing something, you can go back to it. You can read it, oh, this is already where I'm at. So you're switching your mindset from being from thinking of I want to have that and the word sana all. We don't get to be doing that because we know we're thankful for what we have we've achieved. What you're living right now is actually something that you have prayed for before, you wished for, you asked for before. And know that you are progressing. It's just a matter of investing your time to yourself so you understand what you can leverage in. For me, that's what I do. That's if other would call it self-care or me time or quiet time, that's it. That's for me. And then definitely that would, if that isn't good for you, definitely, but have that investment for yourself, whether it's time, whether it's building your value, your portfolio, yourself. Because as much as you're giving a lot, and we Filipinos give a lot, even if we're already, our love bank's already negative, but build yourself first so that you can overflow, and that's when you can help more people rather than helping and helping you can train. So that's well.
I do agree with you, Ria. We should not equate being productive with being busy with being productive. Yes. All right. So thank you so much, Jab and Ria, for the very, very wonderful discussion. Now, can we call on stage Emma and Yuki to please provide the flowers?
Yes, thank you so much. We do appreciate the both of you. And again, we would like to acknowledge our flower sponsor, Bloming G. All right, Bloming G. Thank you so much. All right. All right, let's take a photo. All right, thank you so much, Jab and Ria. Good job, good job. Jab, good job. Yeah, there you go. All right. Now here we go. I think it's one of those times that we are really going to be excited. All right. I think there are a lot of people who came here for this another one of our man of the hour. Right.
All right, with over 1 billion views and nearly 5 million followers, he's earned countless awards, including the Filipino Times New Media Personality of the Year and the Emirates Influencer Award. His unique blend of humor, authenticity, and no-nonsense advice has resonated with the audiences worldwide. Let's all watch this video.
Most people think that I'm teaching blogging. To be honest with you, I'm teaching how to live a life on your own terms. By doing the things that you love, you learn how to create content around it, build a monetization so that you don't have to work a day in your life.
With Mr. Darbs, a third Real Talk Darbs Academy guaranteed to be amazing.
Gary, thank you very much. I have 3 million followers, and it's because of you, brother. Appreciate that. Do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 2. Calm down, focus, figure out how to live a life in your own terms by content creation.
They know the algorithm, they know everything end to end from marketing to content marketing. There are only a few people that will come to us, lalo na pag Pinoy. And I can guarantee you this gentleman next to me is part of probably the top 5 people in the
Here's my message to you. Rather, choose to be alone than beg someone for the bare minimum. Do not accept an appetizer if you want food.
And the winner is.
Yo, what's up, yo, what's up, yo, what's up, yo, what's up? This is Real Talk Darbs.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give it up for Real Talk
Hey, what's
Darbs.
up, Real Talk Darbs? Back at it again. How's everyone feeling? They said that energy is money. So if you have more energy, you'll have more sweat. Just kidding. You'll have more energy, more money. So I want to feel the money in this room. So how are you feeling? Are you guys ready to rock and roll? Okay, cool. That's good to know. By the way, my name is Real Talk Darbs, and before I start, I just wanted to ask, who amongst you here are freelancers, business owners here? Can you please raise your hand? Almost half of the room. In this room, who amongst you are starting to create content to promote your business? Can you raise your hand? That's not even half of the room. So that's why I'm here. I'm here because I wanted to teach you how to build wealth through content creation, and that is my task for today. Good. So, building wealth through video content creation. But before we start, I want everybody to grasp. I think maybe one of the major reasons why we're not using or creating content in the internet and not building our content there is because we think that it doesn't matter. Chamba-chamba lang, you know. So, before we start, here's what we're gonna do. I want everybody to understand why should we choose video content creation. Bakit nga ba? First off, 82% of all internet traffic is projected to be video-based. 82% of the entire internet. Next, I want you to understand that it increases social shares by 1,200% compared to text and images combined. I'm not saying you shouldn't be using text. I'm not also saying that you shouldn't post that, but what I'm just saying is that if you produce video content in the internet to promote your video, promote your job, to get clients, you're likely to get more attention. And 95% of viewers retain a message when delivered through video. And I hope everybody understands how important it is that we're able to convey emotion through videos. That's the reason why we need to use that compared to 10% through text. Because what happens is if it's just text and the person who's reading the text has low energy, most probably the interpretation of what you're trying to say could also be low energy. So you don't leave it to your audience for interpretation. It's basically based on how you present it, and they will take it as it is. Meron pa lang mag-talk na straight English. So I'll try the best that I can to talk straight in English. Again, next. 93% of businesses gain a new customer because of a video in social media. 93%. And 78% of businesses generate revenue from their video marketing efforts. So these are maybe some of the reasons why you should be starting to create video content on the internet. Now, I get the deal. It's a bit difficult, it's a bit complicated. But just like freelancing, when you were starting to get new clients, right? Just like driving, just like learning how to walk, everything starts difficult. But once we put effort, time, and energy and simplify the process, it'll be easier. So I hope that my goal after sharing the knowledge that I have all throughout the years of video content, since 2018 pa lang, I was doing content creation already. Honestly, I was from Dubai. I was an OFW for more than 10 years. And I was able to quit my job finally because I was able to master content creation. It gave me a lot of opportunities. And I'm very happy that I'm here to share that kind of opportunity that video content creation gave me, especially in the freelancing world. Like, would you agree that freelancing right now in the Philippines, even if it's still new-ish, it's already competitive? Very much. And you have to understand, how would you differentiate yourself from the pack? Why would I hire you than I would hire him? And I think one of the greatest differentiator is you get to let your audience know who you are. And how can you do that? By creating videos on the internet. Mahirap eh. It's difficult with Darbs. Yeah. Just like many things. Cool? No response. Cool? Good. Okay, let's go ahead. So if you want to take a screenshot, take a picture, my face on it. Cool. So before we start, actually we didn't even start yet. I wanted to start this off with from a place of what do you call this? Gratitude. We're living in the best era of opportunity right now. If you think about it, my friends, this is the best era in human history to live in. Like, you could have been born in the 1900s. You know, life sucks when you were born in the 1900s. Like, when you were born, World War I happened. Sheesh. Then after that, a few years later, Spanish flu came. Wiped out almost half of Europe. Death is everywhere around you. And then, papunta ka na sa adulthood, World War II came. Like, the only thing that you would do at that specific time, if you were born at that era, is just to survive. I hope I don't get drafted to go to war, which I didn't even start. Like, if you think about it, like, imagine putting yourself in that situation. That the purpose or your dreams that you want to achieve right now, like building wealth, creating money, helping our family, would be thrown out the waste. Because who gives an F about that? At that specific time, all you have to think about is to survive. That's a shitty life to live in, honestly. And right now, we're very lucky. Lucky in a sense that a 23-year-old somewhere, I don't know, in Cebu is earning 5 million pesos per month using his laptop and using internet. That's possible? It is. So the kind of opportunity that we have, 2024 going beyond, is unprecedented. that we don't actually have to be in a 9 to 5 job, just like our parents did. Because at that specific time, they can't have side hustles. Because after 7 p.m., like nobody, like there's no internet, you can't promote your shit or anything. Nothing, you can't do anything. You just have to wait for another day to start your job and then just be there, get married, and be stuck on the same job for more than 50 years. Tapos wala ka pa palang retirement plan. Hindi niya pa nakilala si Marvin Mitchell at that time. So, what I'm trying to say is, before we start, let's just take this opportunity to stop and be lucky that we have the internet right now. Like, everybody has phones here, right? Like that phone that you have in your hands right now is more powerful than what Ronald Reagan used when he was the president of America. That's more powerful than the machine that he used to run the free world. And what? You're just using that to dance TikTok. I'm just kidding. It's okay as long as you promote something when you're dancing on TikTok. But what I'm just trying to say is that you have a powerful machine that could basically be the reason and the answer for your problems. And even half of people in this room right now are looking at that machine. And this is why it's very important to start this off from a place of gratitude. I'm grateful, I'm happy I was born in this era. So, before we start, and why is it that building videos in the internet could be your way to wealth? Why it's the case? Remember this, the money follows where the most eyeballs are. Always has been like that ever since the beginning of time, since the beginning of history. So, automatically, it's safe to assume that if you have massive attention on a specific thing, that's basically the money will go. If you have a massive attention on a specific thing, that's where the money will go. Let me explain. So, before, what happens is the platform that has massive attention is the newspaper. How did it has massive attention? Because news came from that platform. And advertisers was able to utilize the newspaper because newspaper has massive attention. So when you're scrolling the first page, the second page, of all the news at that specific time, I don't know, like 1960s, 1940s. And then on the third page, nakita mo, oh, wow, tama raw effects. Sobrang ganda, daming sasakyan. It's gonna blow. So, basically, you're able to have content, and in the middle of the content, you put advertisement on it. People won't have a choice but to see the advertisement inside of that newspaper. That's the reason why advertising happened. But at that specific time, you only get to write about the Tamaraw FX. Tamaraw FX. Sobrang dami pwedeng isakay. Maganda, mamaho. I mean, that's just that. But now the person who didn't know Tamaraw FX at that specific time already know about Tamaraw FX. So that next time when he sees, doon nakita sa newspaper, this is what I saw in the newspaper. You now get the attention, you now get the awareness, and hence, hopefully, we're able to create a specific awareness that they would buy, if ever, if not now, in the future. So that's where newspaper happened. What's next? What's the platform that has the most attention after newspaper? Yeah, it's radio. So technology came. After newspaper, there's this one specific little box that was invented, and it emits audio. It has voice. So basically, this is now a platform at that specific time that could have a potential to gain massive attention. Again, ano sinabi ko kanina? when a platform that has a massive attention, that is where the money is. At specific time, some point in our time, newspaper is where massive attention is. Now it's shifted to radio. But when new technology came, most people who's adapting the current technology won't adapt on it first. So newspaper people would basically say F radio. Like they would basically find a way to demonize radio because it's new. Like who would even buy, I don't know, a $500 radio box? So expensive, newspaper is just 1 cent. So basically newspaper guys didn't adapt. That's the reason why most people who adapted radio, when people are already absorbing it or people are now buying those little boxes. Then alala niyo pa ba, LCD before, how much? I don't know, 100,000 pesos, the big one. Now how much you can buy, I don't know, for 10,000 pesos. So same was true with radio. But who won? Those people who adapted on radio first. Why radio is great in advertising? Because not unlike newspaper, radio now, you can suggest the tonality of your voice. Like, hindi nyo na lang nababasa yung Tamaraw effects. Tamaraw effects. Sobrang nice. Sobrang ganda. Pwede mong isa pa yung maraming jowa. So basically, it now gives you more creativity to advertise your own thing. And that's the reason why it became popular in the newspaper. I'm not saying that newspaper was gone. Newspaper now has a competitor, which is radio. Then technology evolved. What's next? What was the next platform that has massive attention? I'm sorry? Beeper. Yes? Yes. Television. Television is the next thing. So, what happens here is very funny. Why? Because since radio guys are now dominating the market, they now try to demonize the TV guys. And that big box costs $1,000 US. Yeah, yes, it projects pictures, it projects videos, but who's gonna buy that? Right? But unfortunately, the technology doesn't care about your opinion. It only cares about progress. So what happens? Most advertisers who adapted television are winning up until now. You know who those advertisers and companies are? Unilever, Procter & Gamble. They're the ones who bet big on television. And that's the reason why they are still here right now. And radio guys lost because they did the same mistake that their predecessors did. They demonized this technology. But right now, who amongst you here watches television and news on TV? Like I know most of us are still watching the TV, but mostly online contents, right? But nobody, are you still watching newspaper or like news on TV? Nanonood ka ba? It's like YouTube, yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a new king in town. That television is not the platform that has massive attention at this moment. You know what that is? What is the platform right now at this moment who has massive attention? Yes, exactly. Social media. Social media is the platform as of the moment that has massive attention. But I'm telling you, it will not last long. There will come a time where something will happen. Now, if you agree that social media is the best platform right now that has massive attention, think about this, guys. You know why we're in the best era of opportunity? Because 15, 20, 30 years ago, for you to advertise your shit on mass media, you have to pay a lot. Like, you have to pay for a production team. How much is that? I don't know. let's just say TV, like you have a product or you're a personal brand, a doctor, a freelancer, you want to advertise you on television. You have to pay for airtime. How much is airtime? Let's say prime time, no meron pang probinsyano. How much? 3 million pesos per month for just 30 seconds of a slot. Just the airtime, by the way. You have to again pay production value. You can't have an advertisement and just stand in front of the camera. Like, I'm a freelancer, like, go buy my shit. You can't do that at that time. So you have to pay. So how much is the entry level at that specific time? So high. The cost is so high for you to even advertise your thing on television or in the mass media. But right now, that's the reason why this is the best era of opportunity. You know why? Social media is free. Creating video in your phone is free. The entry level is so low. But when I ask the room today, I think one of the reasons why you guys are here is because you want to build wealth. And for you to build wealth, there is supposed to be people or clients who's gonna buy something that you're offering, right? And how can you have people buy what you're offering is to promote what you're offering. Marketing 101. But most of you are not utilizing the most powerful media out there. And here's the thing, it's free. The cost is only to learn for it a little. Are you getting value from this?
Yes.
I can still remember the time when I was an OFW, like earning good, but not earning to a point where I can retire. And what resonates to me always is what Marvin always said. Like, don't build wealth just to survive. Build wealth to thrive. And I believe that everybody now has a fair chance to thrive in this era. It's just that you just need to focus your attention properly to things that matter. And that is social media. And how can you use social media? Through building, creating video content out there. So, fastest way to boost your business or your brand, your personal brand, influence. That's basically it, influence. You just need to have influence for you to build your business fast or brand fast. That's the reason why when I ask you, most of you here are freelancers, why would a client buy from you than the other one? If they get to know you a little bit through your videos, right? I'd like to hire Mark because Mark, I like the way how he talks, how he cares for his client, and how he gives value. So that when you speak in front of a client, there's a saying that I always say, mas masarap na ikaw ang pipili kaysa ikaw ang pagpipilian. So isn't it nice as well when you are in the front of your client? Like you're not chasing client, you choose client. Because there's so many options, you just want to work with the best one out there that fits your values and all. It's the kind of dream life as a freelancer. How can you achieve that? By building a brand, by having influence. How can you build influence? Fastest way to gain influence? What's the fastest way to gain influence in this day and age? Dancing? Content creation through social media. Basically it. Content creation through social media. That's the fastest way for you to build influence. So, a little case study. So you know who this woman is? Yeah. Yeah, that's Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner, she's 22 years old, you know, and she was actually one of the youngest billionaire. Do you think she would have achieved that overnight? You know how difficult it is to amass a worth of $1 billion? So difficult. But at 22 years old, she was able to do that. How? People know her. She has influence. And the key is she built a business around her name. And that's the reason why. So 22 years old, billionaire. Like this was me when I was 22. Right? So, you know who she is? Yeah. So this is Glenda. We all know that she has a lot of money, but this is one thing that basically boggles my mind. She said here, 3 out of 20 warehouses. 3 out of 20 warehouses. Crazy. Samantalang ako, parang garage lang yung tinitirahan ko eh. So how was she able to gain this much? Because she learned how to leverage influence. Huwag na tayo lumayo. Kilala nito. For sure. Right? Let's laugh at her as we can, but we can't deny that she's a great businesswoman. Right? Ano sinabi niya? Just to inspire all of you. Ito yung sinabi niya sa interview.
May chinismis sa akin si Ali. Alam ko, may kita ka daw ng 5M a day.
Natawa-tawa naman itong sinagot ni Rosmar.
Yung medyo mahina na ako. Mahina yung 5M a day. Magkano yung pinakamalakas? Ay, so may time ko na kasagsabi ng sobra-sobrang lakas. Umabalo ko minsan ng 30.
13 million a day. Samantalang ako, 500 a day lang. Rest in peace, Jacket. But if you think about it, 13 million a day, you know why that's the reason bakit may tax na 1 line. Thank you, smile. So, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there's something out there that is very obvious, but we're not acting upon it. So my goal here is to kick you into action. Because we want to build wealth, right? We wanted to create wealth, not just money, wealth. So how can we do that? We have the most powerful weapon right now, which is social media. And you just have to post in it. So may nagtanong sa akin, Kuya Darbs, paano ba dadaming followers ko? I answered that with another question. Ilang beses ka bang nagpo-post? So there's no followers if there's nothing to follow. So if you want to create content, just give value so that people will get to know you. When people get to know you, you get leads. When you get leads, it's easier to close them because they know you. So, I pride myself teaching things that I just don't know, but I execute myself. So, marami kasi ngayon, like, especially in the Philippines, there's a lot of people who's claiming to be an expert, but basically they're not. They just know the knowledge, but are not executing the knowledge that they know. So I myself, when it comes to content creation, the things that I'm teaching are the things that works for me and is still working for me. That's the reason why I'm very confident to teach these things because I know this shit works. So, sinabi ko kanina, if you're a content creator and if you have a massive influence, while building this slide, I realized something. Like, I have something that most people don't have, which is influence. And most people are actually not using that influence correctly. Like, there's a lot of business owners, a lot of big brands going inside my inbox and then asks, like, pwede ba magpa-promote? And then it got me thinking, why don't I just create my own business? And hence I did. So I went into 2 ventures recently. So So I have a chips brand, Dr. Green's Crunchy Veggie Chips, and Sika. It's a glow skin. It's a Sika Glow Skin 20-in-1. So I tried using my personal brand to sell that. So by the way, Sika 20-in-1, Sika Glow Skin 20-in-1, I don't have any background in beauty. Nothing at all. But one thing I made sure of is the product that I created is great. I made sure that the product that I create is something that works and something that really brings and changes people's life. And that's what I did. But no background whatsoever how to promote and all. So I launched it last February without any, the only thing that I have is the knowledge of marketing or knowledge of video content creation. Not marketing, scratch marketing. It's the knowledge of video content creation. So I was live selling. So this is my live selling. So I was selling my product, a beauty product, and I'm the face of it. Let's find out.
Huwag mo na hindi na sinasabi nila. Hindi ko ako ng program.
Pagkamalan ako sa Tumi.
Di ba kasi Tumi? Sige! Nakakaputirin ba yan ng singit? Check ko kung gaano kaitim yung sayo. Tapos sabihin ko kung kaya ko. Sabi ni Kakuya. Yes, nakakaputito na singit ko, aaraw-arawin mo. Sure na sure yan.
For more live selling funny moments, samahan niyo po ako this
So,
March 3,
this is basically my live stream. First time ko ginawa. You know what? After we launch, in just 15 days, I'm very happy to announce that this was the result. No knowledge or whatsoever.
Recently, I launched a product called Sika 20-in-1. Grabe ang preparation namin leading towards the launch. Looking back at it, more than 1 year din ang ginawa namin preparation just to come up with this product. While launching, at the back of my head, sobrang kaba ko kasi sobrang laki ng ilabas namin puhunan dito. I was asking myself, fail. If, kasi what if walang bumili? You know what? Started here, I went through with it anyway. So after many sleepless nights, blood, sweat, and tears, we are happy to announce that 15 days after the launch, we have reached a milestone. We have sold 10,000 bottles of Sika 20. And I want to share this with you. Looking back at it, nung ginawa ko itong product na to, gusto ko ito mismo ang makatulong na mag-transform ng buhay ng iba. And that is what the Sika 20-in-1 does. Transforming the lives of people who use it to being able to become healthy, fit, and have a glowing appearance. At gusto ko sana magpasalamat sa lahat ng sumuporta. Maraming salamat. Sika 20-in-1, kasama mo sa pagiging bagong ikaw. So basically, that was the brand in 15 days. Without zero knowledge, all I had was the influence that I built. We were able to have 6 million sales in just 15 days. And that's something that I would have never got if it weren't for video content creation. Did you get value from that? Yeah. So I want to leave you with this message. Most of them, what do they all have in common? What they all have in common is influence. And through content creation, you're able to build social, through content creation, you post your content in social media. And then you get massive attention, and that's how you build influence. And with influence, you can do a lot of things. Number one is sell what you want. You can have a legacy and build a life in your own terms. So one thing I want everybody to understand here is consistency is something that you need. Too many people are doing the right thing, but very few are doing the right thing long enough. They quit right away. So I started content creation since 2018. That 6 million sale was not 15 days. That was 5 years. It's just that I didn't stop. I amassed the skill set that I have.
And I want to leave this message to you that even if you might not be the brightest candle in the room, but make sure you burn longer than anyone else. And lahat tayo dito may pangarap. And I wish and pray na yung pangarap na yan hindi kayang tuparin ng nanay mo, ng tatay mo, ng anak mo, at ng girlfriend mo. The only person who's responsible to fulfill that is you. Yung pangarap mo sa sarili mo na sinabi mong tutuparin mo. And I wish when I walk away from this, you get that knowledge and you execute that for yourself. Because at the end of the day, my friends, ikaw lang din ang dahilan kung bakit ka magiging masaya. And it's your birthright to be successful. That's it for me, my friends. This is Real Talk Darbs. Maraming salamat po.
Alright, everybody, that was such a heartfelt, right, talk. So thank you so much, Sir RTD, right? So let's take a picture first, alright? Thank you so much. Can we give another round of applause for RTD? There you go.
Thank you so much for your message, RTD. We really resonate with it because, in this digital age, there's a lot of ways to earn money. We don't have to just invest in stock market, in businesses. We can also leverage our influence through investing in learning more about social media.
Correct. Actually, I do have two takeaways from that talk. That social media is actually free. We have to leverage social media. So if you're not, then when will be the perfect time, right? And at the same time, it's your birthright to be successful, right? Let's keep that in mind, everybody. All right, there you go. So right now, I think coming from that talk, there's going to be another, all right, much awaited, all right, speaker, keynote speaker, all right. Shem, are you very excited?
I am so excited, Miss Ice, and I'm sure everybody in this room is also excited because he is one of our main keynote speakers in this event. Now get ready to transform your money mindset and unlock the secrets to financial freedom. Our next speaker is the Pabansang Wealth Coach, a man whose infectious positivity and practical advices empowered millions of Filipinos to take control of their financial future.
All right. He is not just best-selling author and sought-after speaker. He's a social media phenomenon with a dedicated following of millions of people. His message of hope, resilience, and financial empowerment resonates with people from all walks of life. All right, everybody, let's watch this.
Good evening, Araneta!
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Chink Positive himself, Mr. Chinkee.
Okay, mabuhay po kayo. Okay, mabuhay rin po ako. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you still okay, everyone? Yeah, really an honor and pleasure to be invited here, Mitch. I think I'm meeting you for the very first time. You're more looking, good looking in person. Yeah. So I just like to thank everyone for taking your time out here. Before we start, just like to ask, who among you are currently doing freelancing? Can you please raise up your hands? Okay. Who among you are planning to get into freelancing? Can you please raise up your hands? Who among you, no matter what we ask, you refuse to raise up your hands? Please raise up your hands. Pwede ba na magsitayuan muna tayo? We feel stiff, especially because we're inside the hotel in a ballroom. Okay, can everyone please raise up your right hand? Raise up your right hand back to show God the one on your right. Sabihin mo sa'yo, payaman ka na. Raise up your left, raise up your left, raise up your left. Sabihin mo naman, pautang naman, pautang. Okay, please take your seats. Take your seats. So before we start, let me ask, I want to get to know most of you. So I'd just like to ask again, who among you are currently in the freelancing? You're doing freelancing. Raise up your hands right now. So what do you do particularly?
I'm into social media management and then third social media marketing.
Prior to doing freelancing, what do you used to do?
Oh, I used to do online teaching.
Prior to online teaching, what do you used to do?
I do face-to-face tutorials.
Prior to that?
Selling.
Lahat ginawa mo na talaga. Okay, how did freelancing really change your life?
Well, it became my bread and butter since college days with the aid of technology. But when I was younger, because I love education, I love teaching kids. So, and then it turned out, I love teaching foreigners too. And then eventually, because of that teachable attitude, it helped me also to homeschool my kids and at the same time, earn the best way possible because of freelancing.
Come on, give her a round of applause. Okay, the reason why I'm asking that question because number one, freelancing is close to my heart, number one. And number two, homeschooling is also close to my heart. As a matter of fact, my wife wrote the first homeschooling book here in the Philippines. And freelancing, I've been doing, as a matter of fact, we've been working from home for the past 12 years already. My entire setup, my entire operation has been work from home. So I have a total of 50 people in my team right now. And that's the reason why when pandemic came in, when the ashfall came in, it wasn't really an adjustment for us. And later I'll talk more about it. The reason why I'm here, where's my timer? I'm a respecter of time. Okay, so I'm here to share with you about the topic of personal finance. Who among you wants to manage your money more wisely? Can you please raise up your hands? So I've developed a simple method called CHIP. Everybody say CHIP. If you will master these four simple steps or four simple things, you'll be able to achieve financial peace. And let me ask you this question. Who among you inside this room, you want to become financially stable? Raise up your hands. What do you want to hear first? Good news or not so good news? Not so good news. The not so good news is this. No one can be financially stable. Ask me why. The more we make, the more we spend. Do you agree?
Yes.
Di ka ba nagtataka ng maliit ang sweldo, nagpapakasya minsan may sobra ka? Doon naman kayo nakita na kulang na nagkautang ka. Kaya ibalik ang sweldo sa maliit. No, the problem is not the income. The problem is our attitude towards the income. Agree? So allow me to present this chip method. It's very simple. I can do this presentation in 5 minutes, or I can do this in an hour, half a day, 1 whole day, or 5 days. So let me do the 20-minute version. First is create. Everybody say create.
Great.
First things first, if you really want to become financially free, you need to learn how to make money. Agree? If you do not know how to make money, there's no money to save, there's no money to invest, there's no money to grow. So first things first. Second is handle. Everybody say handle. Even though you're good in creation, but if you're poor in money management, it's still going to be depleted. Agree? And some people are good in creation and handling, but the moment they stop working, they stop earning. That's the reason why the The next is letter I, you should learn how to what? Invest. Agree? No offense, but if you cannot come to a point in your life that you can earn money while you are sleeping, while you are taking a bath, while you're taking a shower, while you're taking a vacation, you cannot afford to retire for the rest of your life. Agree? And last but not the least, even though you're good in creation, handling, and investing, but if you fail to do letter B, protect me. Everything that you earn will also be gone. So, agree? So, let's continue. First, create. How can we create? So, we should learn how to what? Upgrade. Everybody say upgrade.
Upgrade.
We upgrade our cell phones, computer, looks. Kung nagkatabi mo, may effect ba? No offense, man. Now, sometimes, when we touch, the honesty is too much. Sometimes we invest more on the outside rather than investing something in the inside. If you invite a person to come to or ordinary person, an average person to come to a session just like this, oh, we have a seminar, we have a... Okay, first question, is it for free? Second question, what's the food? Mga workers, di ba? And then when you tell them, okay, there's a fee, how much? 500? Mall. Mawalang galang lang. Have you eaten at a restaurant? Some of you paid 500 pesos. That's almost $10. Bukas, nasaan na? Nasaan yung kinain natin? Nasaan na? Eco-friendly already. Do you agree? Yes or no? But smart people, intelligent people, and successful people, when you invite them to a session just like this, the first question they would ask, what's the topic? Number 2, who's the speaker? Number 3, what can I learn? Number 4, how much? Because they know everything that has a value has a price to pay. Agree? I can still remember when the late Zig Ziglar came to the Philippines for only one time, never happened again, in 1997, Western Philippine Plaza, which is recently closed. And I hope you try the last Sophie there and the buffet. Aspiral, I'm sorry. Yeah. And for 2 days, 1997, I paid 5,000 pesos to attend that session. 1997, 5,000 pesos, that was a lot of money already. Agree? Question. Did you think that I was able to recover the 5,000 already? Yes or no? Yes. Hindi pa. Doing my reality. That's where I learned how to do public speaking. Because the session was all about public speaking. So that's the reason why if you are really a smart person, especially if you want to become an entrepreneur, you don't always ask how much should I invest. The question is how much always is that return. Agree? That's the reason why no one would invest in billions of pesos or dollars in a building if they don't know that they will make much. Agree? So first, learn how to upgrade. Everybody say upgrade. Upgrade. Why? Because times are hard. You should learn how to create multiple sources of what? Income. Have you ever heard of the quote, never put your eggs in one basket? Yes. Diversify, yes or no? Yes. It's always referred to cash, it's always referred to like investment. Learn how to diversify. Yes, yes or no? Do you think that's right or wrong? Do you think that's right or wrong? It's wrong. Wrong in the sense, not this diversification must not be first applied in investment. Diversification must first be applied in cash flow. Let's simplify this conversation. Name me one billionaire that has only one source of cash flow. One business. One industry. The late Henry C. Multiple. The late Go Hongwei. My uncle, I don't know if you know him, Lucian. Lucian. What's his surname? What's my surname? What's your problem? He's my uncle in my dreams. Do you follow? And the reason why I encourage people to create multiple sources of income, we should understand the spare tire principle. Everybody says spare tire. Does the car have a spare tire? Why? Why? for aesthetic purposes. Just in case something happens, you have a spare tire. Mas mabuti pang sasakyan, mas madali ka pa kasi sa tao. Once you lose an income, what's the next one? That's the reason why for all of my projects also part of my team, I always encourage people. I will not discourage people. If you work for me, I encourage you, as a matter of fact, to get more clients. As long as you don't compromise your output. Do you follow? Because it's very important for us to learn on how we can diversify. Agree? So the question is this, what type of diversification? I just need to say this, especially for our non-Filipino speaking. If you really want to create multiple sources of income, repeat after me, kung gugulay magka, come on. Number 9. Paki-translate na lang kasi yung I only brought a sample of English. My English is running out. The mungo, it's a bean sprout, right? Once you plant it, after a few days, it grows to be a bean sprout, right? Pwede ka na mag-harvest, agree? Gulay, vegetables, takes normally 30 days, right? Mango, it takes how many years? 7 years. So with your sources, current sources of income, you must have 3 sources. Majority of us, probably if you are employed right now, or you're currently employed, raise up your hands. Employment is good, but we need cash. You can earn money on the 15th and 30th, that's your gulay. But on top of that, if you can do freelancing on the side, that will give you the mungo income. Agree? And once you start earning from the mungo income, the daily income and the project income, you use that money to invest for your mungo. Agree? Or you can use your mungo income to pay for your bills. You use your, gulay income to invest for your mungo. Does it make sense? If you do that, you'll be okay. But let me warn you, as I mentioned, never put your eggs in what? Listen, never kill the goose that lays the golden egg. Of all the sources of income that you have right now, you ask yourself, what gives you the main source? What gives you the sustenance? What gives you the payback? Make sure you protect it. Do you follow? I have never seen anyone who killed their main source of cash cow or cash flow just because they want to make more. Agree? Just like this guy, Marta Ping, one of my followers, he said, isang taga-subaybay ng mga teaching niya since 2010, napakahirap na tanong, hindi pa ako nakapagtapos na pag-aaral. Lahat natutunan ko, in-apply ko. I'm 30 years right now old, a construction businessman in Davao City with 100 million pesos in asset. This guy used to be a houseboy and then went into construction as a construction person, started to listen to my podcast, watch my YouTube, change his mindset, and it's changed his financial life. Second, handle. Everybody say handle. 3 things to master. Please take a photo shot, a screen slide of this photo, a photo of this screen slide. Save, budget, and what? Then. Everybody say save, budget, and then. If you can master these 3 things, you are okay already. Talking about savings, why? It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Even if you make a 6-digit income per month, but if your lifestyle, you're spending probably 7 digits or more, you'll be in debt. Do you agree? So it's very important for us to learn how to manage and discipline ourselves. Let me ask you this question. Who among you wants to save money? Can you please raise up your hands? If you want to learn how to save, I'll teach you this method called bawas dagdag method. Everybody say bawas dagdag. Bawas means cut down your unnecessary expenses. If your budget is tight, if you don't have income problem or cash flow problem, you don't have any problem. A lot of people, when they look at me, they feel guilty. Parang akong konsensya nila. Oo, hindi na ako gagastos. Parang ako multo nila, hindi ba? No, in reality, I go to Starbucks, I buy things that I like, that I think I can afford. As a matter of fact, there is no such thing as the word called expensive in the world. Don't ever believe that there's a product that's expensive. Because being affordable expensive is very relative. Do you agree? Just like money, it's very relative. The more money you have, the more relatives. No money, no relatives. No, like for example, if you're going to eat at Jollibee for 75 pesos, it's not affordable or not? Yes or no? 75 pesos. For us, but for a person who's probably living off the street, it's expensive. For you to eat a spiral, di ba? The spiral, 5,000 pesos per meal. Is that affordable or expensive? Expensive, but for people making 10 million or 5 million a month, that's affordable. So buying an LV bag that's not an issue. The issue is, do you have the capability to buy it? Agree? We have to start renewing our mindset. Agree? Again, there's nothing expensive in this world. If there's something expensive, LV will not exist, Rolex will not exist. But still, how come they have still good business? Because there are people who can afford to buy it. So again, cut down our unnecessary expenses. Ito lang FYI, who among you eat out with your family? You eat out with your family. How much is the normal food bill? Ano yung 500? 5,000. Nalagay mo na sa 2,000 pesos. You do that every Sunday. Every Sunday, that's 8,000 a month times 12 months. That's 96,000 pesos in a year. If you're making 50,000 a month, that's 2 months of your salary eating out, which we are not conscious. Agree? I mean, am I saying that we shouldn't eat out? No, you just cut it. You don't have to be conscious. Instead of 4 times in a month, just do it 2 times. Follow? First, cut down unnecessary expenses. Number 2 is what? Add. That's where, again, freelancing comes in. It's a matter of fact. Nowadays, there are a lot of opportunities. Do you agree? Because of technology, because of services. If I would have to bring you back during the time when I was starting my sales career, there's no technology. That's the reason why, are you familiar with the guy who sold kangkong chips and became very famous, rich at 17 years old? Yeah, Josh Monica. I want to challenge that guy. I want to bring him to the time when I was born, okay, with no internet, with no social media, and you try to sell kangkong chips during that time. How would you be able to sell it? So you have to sell door to door, house to house, office to office. Do you agree? It only happened because of technology and e-commerce. So next, I want to challenge you. Sino sa inyo gusto makaipon ng 60,000 pesos? Pakitaas mga kamay. I want to challenge you with this ipon challenge. Start with 20 pesos. 20 pesos lang muna. Start with 20 pesos. And then once you put it inside the box, you put the coin at the same time, okay? Here on the slide, and then a small circle for the bills. From 20 go to 50, from 50 go to 100. Once you complete this, you will have 60,000 pesos. And some people challenge me, bakit may yaman ko sa ipon? Will I get rich by saving money? The answer is no. But people don't understand this. The philosophy, first, the psychology about the box. Do you believe in setting goals? Yes or no? Have you ever heard about the SMART goals? Not globe, but SMART. What do you mean by SMART? Specific, measurable, achievable, then realistic, and time-bounded. Okay. First question. You have Who among you tried saving money, but at the end of the day, may kumukupit? Nauubos. You know why? Because when you save money, when you don't have a specific goal, chances are you will use it. That's the reason why the first thing that you need to do is what are you saving for? It must be specific. Next, is it measurable? Yes or no? 60,000, is it measurable? Yes or no? 20 pesos, is it achievable? Is it readable? Yes or no? Even if before you open it, you will know how much you have saved. Is it time bounded? Yes or no? Yes. So this box is not dumb, it's smart. And more than that, will I become a millionaire if I start saving? let me ask you this question. If you're able to complete the 60,000 challenge, does it take discipline for you to do that? Does it take sacrifice? Does it take consistency? Have you met a billionaire or a millionaire successful person who's not disciplined? Who hasn't sacrificed? Who's not consistent? What do I mean? If you learn how to save, these are the qualities and the characteristics that a person needs in order for them to become successful. I think it's no. At saka na ako mag-iipon pagka malaki naging income ko. Buwang ka talaga. Kung di ka talaga marunong mag-tigong sa gamay mong income, di ka rin marunong tigong pagdaghan ng iyong income. Tinood ba? May Bisaya ba dire? Ay, yung mami na, sige. Ako na lang. Di ba, nagigets nyo? It's a character, it's an attitude thing. So let's continue. So the goal, once you want to save, if there's only one thing, as freelancers, let me encourage you, save up for your emergency fund. Yes, you may have many clients right now, but the clients can disappear at a time. Agree? So learn how to save up. So at least, I encourage people to go for 1 month. After 1 month, you go to 3. From 3, you go to 6. The most ideal, you want the most ideal? Yes or no? Yes. 1 year. The more the better. As a matter of fact, if I would let me encourage you, there are 5 levels of income. We say 5 levels of income. Level 1 are people who earns on a daily basis. Isang kahit, isang tuka. Level 2, weekly income. Carpenters, contractual. Level 3, monthly income. Level 4, they have 1 year of emergency fund. And level 5, they have 10 years, 1 decade of emergency fund. These are the very rich. Of all the 5 levels, which do you think is the most dangerous? Talk to me. What do you think is the most dangerous? Level 1 or level 5? Level 1? No. With level 1, you know that you don't have enough. You will do something and then you will try to increase your income. What do you think? Level 5? Level 3? Yes. The most dangerous level is level 3. Ask me why.
Okay
Once
naman.
you reach level 3, you will already
Hapit
feel
ng
the
pagguro
power.
naman. Maghapit na mo man, nasend ko naman.
But the problem with level 3, you don't have enough. If there's one
Gamay
emergency
raman,
that comes in,
guys.
probably
Nakatawag mo rin
somebody
na
gets
subscribe.
hospitalized, what will happen? Since you don't have enough emergency fund, you go back to level 2 and level 1. But if you're at level 4, something happens to you, you just go down to level 3. If you're at level 5, something happens to you, you go down to level 4. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Yes. That's the reason why I really encourage people to push, not because to become rich, but to reach a level of what? Comfort. Does it make sense? Next. Marites Makabangon, sa lahat ng mga kaipunaryos, ito na 50 Days People Challenge, nakakapagod man, look, she saved, and she created what? Multiple incomes. And you know what happened? She was able to save money. Bawas tagdag. Kataon ang unnecessary expenses and add income. Does it work? Yes or no? Next is what? Invest. Even though you're good in creation but you're poor in investing, I have last 10 minutes. So, type of investment, why invest? Because, okay. Again, as I mentioned a moment ago, the moment you stop working, you stop what? Earning. But you don't stop spending. So you and I must come to a point in our lives, even if you what? Stop working, your income will never stop. While you are listening to this session right now, attending, you should be still earning. Do you follow? Who among you wants to retire young and early? Raise up your hands. There's a movement called FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early. So if you want to do that, I'll make this quick. 2 types of income, active and what? Active, you work, you get paid. Passive, even if you stop working, you still get what? Paid. Which is better, active or passive? Passive, definitely, if you don't want to be stressed. So right now, if your income is 100% active, 0% passive, this is how you do it. Ready? 90, 10, 80, 20, 70, 30, help me, 60, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Transfer slowly your income from active to passive. If you can transfer your income active to passive earlier, you can already retire. Does it make sense? Don't wait until such time you're 50 to 60, this time you start doing it. You'll take a lot of risks. You start doing it while you're still young. A lot of people lost money during the time of pandemic. Do you agree? But there's also some people who made so much money during the pandemic. I overheard Vanilla you talk about lost money. Yeah. Lost money made her fortune during the time of pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, she had nothing. She was living at the back of her pet shop with his husband. For 10 square meters. Right now, the latest, I saw the blog of Julius. She was able to buy 30 properties in 2 years' time. Amazing. So what are the types of investment? Please take a screenshot because I don't have much time to explain all of this. From stock, mutual fund, MP2, property, REIT, crypto, arts. Of all the investment here in the Philippines, which do you think is the most stable, profitable? What do you think? Talk to me. Property. Yes, you will never go wrong with property. Unlike in the other countries, it's unstable, it goes up and down. In the Philippines, it's very consistent. So if you don't have much money to buy properties like hundreds of thousands or even millions, you can go to REIT. It's called real estate investment trust for 5,000, 10,000. You can be part of because you earn 2 times. You earn number 1 from the appreciation of the value of the stock. Number 2, you can earn 2 dividends, which they give around 5 to 7% interest per annum. So if you want to know more, please do some research. Okay, last goal is to what? So always look at money as a seedling. Think like a farmer. What does a farmer do when they have seedling? They agree. Have you seen a farmer who ate their seedling? Exactly. So again, it's okay for you to enjoy once you make some money, but make sure you set aside money for you to plant, for you to harvest in the future. Okay, like Lucky Gatos followed my advice, was able to purchase their house. Last, I have 5 more minutes. Last is what? Protect. Everybody say protect. Protect for emergency and planning for your what? Retirement. Being sick is not a matter of if. Being sick is a matter of what? When. Agree? Question. Can you still remember in 2020, 2021? Do you know of anyone who got hospitalized because of COVID? Yes, sir. How much was the hospital bills? Millions. So what happened? What happened? All of their investment forced to sell at a loss, emergency fund, depleted, go back to what? That's the reason why we should learn how to protect. Why? Prevention is better than what? Cure. Agree? So, take a screenshot, please, again, of this slide. What are the protection that we must have? Health, life, non-life, financial planning, and estate planning. No, let me encourage you, especially if you are a independent. Don't ever say, hey, ano naman ako? Okay naman ako. Hindi ka naman ako. Huwag ka lang ma-one time. Huwag ka lang ma-one time. Kung na-one time ka, ubus ka. Agree? Speaking from experience. This is my last story. And then, I'll end. In the year, I think 2005, my wife gave birth to our third and youngest child. After 3 days, she suffered a severe head migraine. Forced to bring her back to the hospital. She was under, the doctors then recommended, because she had a terrible headache. From 1 to 10, level of pain was number 9, never went. And then after that, the doctor said, do an MRI. While she was in MRI session, the nurses was shouting code blue. I don't understand what you mean by code blue. Basically, it was emergency. So she had 3 seizures. On the third seizure, she suffered a comatose. Comatose for 7 days. Stayed in the hospital for 21 days. To cut the long story short, she was able to recover. I was the happiest man in the world. But upon receiving the billing statement of St. Luke Hospital, my wallet was rushed to the ICU. It's my turn. 1995, 2+ million in hospital bills. I had no health card, zero. I had to borrow money. So to cut the long story short, I paid it back in 3 years' time. But that was a painful lesson. So if you don't believe, don't buy health insurance. But if you want to protect your hard-earned money, buy health insurance. Follow? I'll close with this. Again, what's the 4 secrets? Number 1, first learn how to what? Even though you're good in creation, but if you're poor in what? Handling, ubus. Even you're good in creation and handling, but if you don't know how to what? Ubus. Even you're good in creation, handling, and investing, but if you're poor in what? Ubus. Thank you very much and God bless you.
All right, everybody. That was such a very, very amazing talk. Thank you so much, Sir Chinkee. As always, now we are definitely amazed at how we are going to be an iponaryo. Sino dito yung mga iponaryo na after this day? Sino? Can I get a hand? Raise your hand if you're going to be an iponaryo. Right? Everybody, one more time. Give it up for Mr. Chinkee. Everybody, can everybody stand up, stand up, stand up. That deserves. All right? Everybody up on your feet. Of course, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. We just wanted to really take this opportunity to say we're very, very grateful. All right?
Pretend you're happy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chink Positive. Everybody, Chinkee time!
All right, create, handle, invest, and protect. That's very easy to memorize, everybody.
Chip, tandaan natin lahat yan, chip. And of course, you start to create your habit. Hopefully, you have learned a lot of lessons from, of course, Mr. Chink Positive himself. Right?
All right, everyone, it's time to refuel and recharge. We have some delicious coffee and tea and snacks waiting for you outside those doors. While enjoying those treats, don't forget to snap some photos and share them on Facebook with the hashtag Wealth Creators PH. Or sorry, hashtag Marvin goes to PH. And remember the photo with the most likes wins 1,000 e-wallet prize. So get creative and strike a pose.
All right, definitely. Of course, we're going to be seeing you, all right, in 10 minutes. So please come back. And again, we're going to remind you that at the end of the show, at the end of the program, there's going to be gifts await. All of those people is going to stick up until the end.
Yes, our very generous Marvin Mitchell, he has the giveaway for everyone here.
Yes, all right. So please do stick around. And of course, please. Yeah, sure. All right. So yes, definitely. All right. So before anything else, okay, I would like to just ask first. Is everybody good that we're going to proceed? Everybody, is that okay? All right. All
All right, so thank you so much for allowing us to proceed because, of course, we have dragged a little bit of our timeline. So, anyways, we're going to kick things off, and definitely thank you so much for all of our keynote speakers and, of course, our panelists. Right now, get ready to have your minds blown by a financial powerhouse who's helped over 11 people generate over $1 million in a single day after attending his virtual events. Can you imagine? All right, 1 million in a day. If there is somebody that can actually create or build $1 million in a day, that's going to be this person. And it's not just one person, but 11 people. He was able to actually replicate this process. So just imagine how much knowledge, how much, how much financial knowledge are we going to get in today, all right? So before anything else, kailangan talaga, I would like to ask everybody to please be up on your feet, everybody. Yeah. Siyempre, marami na dito tinatabad ng konti, so a little bit of a stretch, all right? A little bit of a stretch. All right, a little bit of a stretch to your right, stretch to the right, stretch to the left. All right, everybody, kailangan, di ba sabi nila, high energy, high income. So let us not waste this opportunity. This is the man of the hour, everybody. Can I get one more time? Can we get a round of applause and, of course, a shout? All right, everybody, can I have the energy, everybody? Clap, everybody, for our man of the hour.
All right, why don't we call on stage the one and only Marvin Mitchell?
17-year Hall of Fame financial advisor.
Once again, everybody, let's call on stage Marvin Mitchell!
All right, how's everybody doing today? Okay, now I believe I am your last speaker. So, I need you all to do me a favor. We talked about this earlier. High energy, high income, okay? So I'm gonna say high energy, and I want you to say back to me, high income, okay? You ready? Yes. High energy! High income! High energy! High income! One more time with your best high income, you ready? High energy! High income! Yes, I love it. Now look, I had an entire financial presentation prepared for you, but Chinkee just took my whole presentation. I think he's been looking at all of my content. I'm just kidding. Darbs and Chinkee, can we give a round of applause for real talk Darbs and Chinkee? Oh my God, that was great. I'm taking notes. That was amazing. And can we give a round of applause to Ice and Shield for doing an incredible job hosting the event today.
Thank you, Chief.
And one more. Where are all my wealth creators at? Wealth creators, where you at? Wealth creators, you know what I'm about to do before we get started. On the count of 3, you know what we're gonna say. Wealth creators. 1, 2, 3. Dominate! Amazing. And you know I got 2 companies. and somebody, what does dominate mean? How do you say dominate? Yes. Is that a word? I don't know. I apologize, you all. Okay, we're gonna do one more, and this is probably gonna be even tougher to say in Filipino. Okay. All of my Compass Retirement Solutions family. Okay. On the count of 3, you know what we're gonna say. You ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. So dominate and cash money crew. So I'm not going to give you a detailed financial presentation. Chinkee 10 did such a great job at doing so. But what I'm going to do is tell you my story, and I wanted to inspire some of you today with some hope. I wanted to inspire some of you today to let you know where I come from. I come from the United States of America. I was born in a city, St. Louis, Missouri, and also Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm back and forth between those two cities. And let me tell you this. The first thing I will tell you, okay, I've heard so many of you say today, well, I'm from a third world country. I'm from a third world country. Let me tell you, I don't care if you come from what many consider a third world country. You are not a third world person. Okay? That's very important for you to understand, because I have worked with people, a lot of people. I have about 26 people on my team from this country. And I have probably about the same amount from the United States. And don't tell my United States team this, but many of my people from the Philippines, I would choose you and let my people from the United States go. and I'll tell you why. In my country, I love my country, but there's a lot of ignorance in my country, the same way I'm sure there's ignorance about other cultures and other countries. But one of the things that not a lot of people from our country bring on people from, they don't think globally, okay? They don't. But I will tell you this. Somebody said, well, aren't you afraid that people in another country, like the Philippines, aren't you afraid that they'll steal from you? Aren't you afraid that they're going to take your client's information and do identity theft? Is it okay if I real talk Darbs with you today? This is what they say. So they're afraid. And this is my response. I have been working with people from the Philippines for years, and let me tell you this, not once, not one time have I ever had anybody steal from me. Not once have I had people being dishonest with me. Not once have I had people taking advantage of me, coming in to work late all of the time. But guess what? In the US, I've had it happen all the time. People stole from me all the time. And why do I hire people from the Philippines? Many people get it wrong. They say, in my country, they say, well, you're probably hiring them because they cost less to hire. You get it all wrong. If I hired a bad employee, it would cost me more to hire a bad employee. Okay? So this is why I do it. Because this country has some of the smartest people in the world. This country, the Philippines, I had to come 20 hours literally to tell you this. This country has some of the most honest people in the world and some of the most caring, empathetic people in the world. And I'm not just saying that. One of the things, like, what we do is we don't treat our virtual professionals like our virtual professionals are here and people from our country are here. What do? Are we all in the same meetings? We're in the same meetings, we talk the same language. But what I wanted to really talk to you about today is what Chinkee said today was so real. He said, the more money you make without financial literacy, the more money you'll spend. I know a lot of multi-millionaires in the United States who are broke. The more money you make does not mean the more financial freedom you'll have. In fact, a lot of times, the more money you make, you'll be in an even worse situation if you don't have financial literacy. So, anybody a fan of any United States sports such as football, not soccer, not the football as in with the soccer ball. I'm talking about throwing the ball, field goals, the NFL, National Football League. Anybody ever watch that, the NFL, National Football League? Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I work with a lot of my clients are from that league, the National Football League. These men are making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Guess what? Within about 3.5 years, most of those people are broke. Now, you tell me, if I handed you, let's just say 10 million Philippine peso, do you believe that you'll be broke within 2 or 3 years? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Only you can answer that question. But what I will tell you this is, wealth inherited quickly will soon be diminished. This is not about, the race isn't given to the swift or to the strong, but it's to those who endure to the end. It's to those who build habits, not to those who get money quickly. In fact, getting money quickly can hurt you because you haven't taken the time to build a strong foundation. Building a strong foundation starts with the little things. Those who are faithful with little will not be trusted with more. Okay? You have to be faithful with a little bit. I don't care how much money you have. In the United States, I have clients who make millions of dollars that are broke, and I have clients who never made more than $50,000 in US dollars per year. They never made more than $50,000 per year versus $1 million. Some of those people that only made $50,000 are way wealthier. Why are they way wealthier? Because they had the habits of not spending more than they make. It's as simple as that. You spend more than you make, I don't care how much you make, you will be broke. The second thing, oh my God, and I'm just going over some things before I tell you my story. The second thing that I have to tell you, why so many people are poor. P-O-O-R, poor. I'm going to give you an acronym. P-O-O-R, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Every single person in this room, I don't care about your financial situation now, I don't care about your circumstances right now. Every single person in this room will have opportunities. Somebody will come into your life and give you wisdom, and you will see opportunities if only you open your eyes. People who are wealthy just took advantage of those opportunities. And notice I said those opportunities, because they probably failed at the first 10. But guess what? They succeeded at the 11th. While the person who's afraid to take advantage of an opportunity, you may have been laughing at the people who failed 10 times. But when they succeeded, you were still waiting to take that first opportunity. But somebody say, I want you to say this, no more. No more. Someone say, I will act now. Now means no opportunity wasted. Okay? No opportunity wasted. See, this is the deal. It's not that you were not given the opportunities. You just didn't know how to open your eye to the opportunity because you never took the time to manifest that opportunity. Now, I'm going to tell you my story about the power of speaking, manifesting, setting goals. It doesn't matter where you come from. You have the opportunity to do something that no one has ever done before. You do. You won't find your dreams wasted in the graveyard. I want you to actually live out your dreams, because the most talent in the world is not on the earth, it's actually in the grave, because these are people who were meant to have a music career, but they never took advantage of the opportunity. They were meant to build great businesses, but they never took advantage of the opportunity. They were meant to have an invention that would change the world, but they never took advantage of the opportunity. But you will take advantage of the opportunity because you will be ready. So I started off when I was younger. My mom became pregnant with me at the age of 15 years old. My dad, my real dad, has never been around in my life. Okay? In fact, my real dad spent most of my life in jail. Okay? I come from the projects in the United States, where there was a lot of violence and a lot of gang violence and gunshots and different things like that. We were afraid to walk from one block to the next block. My mom, when she did get married, it was an abusive relationship. I would watch my mom get hit, get beat, get abused, day in, day out. We didn't know what mood he would be in. Okay, this is the kind of environment that I grew up. My mom escaped that relationship, and we moved into a homeless shelter to flee and to get away, and we had nowhere to live for the longest amount of time. My grandmother, loved my grandmother, her name was Betty. She pulled us into her small one-room place that she lived in. And one of the things that she taught me is to not let my circumstances dictate the outcome of my life. She also taught me, she was a strong Christian woman. She taught me that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And because of that, I became the first person in my family to attend college. Actually, I was the first person in my family I was one of the first people to even graduate from high school. We did not come from a rich and wealthy family. So how did I come to the point where last year I was able to make 16 million US dollars, and I looked at what the translation was in pesos. It was almost $1 billion in pesos last year. How was I able to do that coming from nothing, coming from a situation? It's because one of the things that I always believe that if I can put my mind to it, I can achieve it. If I can just simply believe it, I can do it. Your mindset, your money cannot grow faster than your mindset. And if it does grow faster, you'll lose it. The three things that's very important for you to understand is mindset, skill set, and financial literacy. Unfortunately, these are things not taught in school. The educational system, I don't care if it's the Philippines, I don't care if it's the United States. How many of you learned how to be a multimillionaire in school? Anybody? Nobody, right? You have to change and shift your environment. Now, you might be saying, well, I know you're saying change my environment, but I don't have any friends that are multi-millionaires, or I don't know family members who are millionaires, so how do I shift my environment? Well, first you have to understand that if you have a big dream, the quickest way to kill a big dream is to introduce it to a small mind. Okay? So if you have big dreams, you have to find people that when you tell them your dream, they don't say, oh, yeah, sure, that good luck. Okay? Anybody come from an environment of sometimes just negativity where you have a dream, but sometimes people in your environment bring those dreams down a little bit? Anybody? Thank you for the honesty. There's some honest people in the room, and I really do appreciate that. You want to find people when you say, hey, I am going to make 1 million pesos this month. I don't care what you say. You want to find friends that say, yes, but you have potential to do even better than that. See, there are three types of people. There are people who bring you down. There are people who, they say, well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'll watch from the sidelines. Then there are people who will encourage you to be even better and to do more. Those are the people. Those are the people who you want to be around. That doesn't mean that they're rich. They don't necessarily have to be wealthy, but they believe in you, and they're not bringing you down, but they're lifting you up. My next question for you is, who are you? Which one are you? When people come to you and tell you about their dreams, are you a person that's saying, we'll see? Or are you a person that's lifting your friends and your family up? Which one are you? You don't have to answer that right now, but I want you to really ponder it and think about it because you don't understand the power that you have. Your words are powerful. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And when I say he, that's he or she, doesn't matter. As you think in your heart, so are you. You have not because you ask not. Seeking you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Okay? So, what does speak those things that are not as though they are? What does that mean? Speak those things that are not as though they are. That's the very definition of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What that means is you don't need to physically see it before you believe it. Now, how many of you believe in this room that you are a multi-millionaire? How many of you believe that? Okay, here's the next question. How many of you, now I think just about everybody's hand raised when I had that question. Except 2 people. That's okay though. How many of you are already a multi-millionaire? Raise your hand. Only 3? One more time. How many of you are already a multi-millionaire in the room? I know there's a few more of you in the room. Okay. Maybe 5 now. Gotta try this one more time. How many of you are already a multi-millionaire in this room today? Okay. Now we have 20. Last time, how many of you are already a multi-millionaire in this room today? All right, there we go. You're getting the hang of it now. What did I just say? Speak those things that are not as though they are. That doesn't mean you're lying to yourself. What you are doing is you are doing what's called manifesting. By manifesting, in the chip method we just learned, the first thing in C was to do what? Create. Create doesn't mean always doing 100% of the time. Sometimes create means that you're learning to manifest. When you learn to manifest, you've done 90% of the creation. If you do it enough, and if you really believe it, and if you really feel it. See, there's something very powerful, not to get too deep with this or anything, but there's something very powerful about your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the truth and a lie. So if you tell your mind that I am a millionaire, guess what? It has to come to pass. Let's do an exercise, you all. I want you to close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. And I want you to really I want you to think about it. Give me a really good, honest answer to yourself. You don't have to shout it out. But I want you to think 3 years from now. 3 years from now. I want you to think of how much money, how many pesos you will have accumulated. What is your net worth? How much money would you have accumulated? I want you to really close your eyes and think about that number. Don't open your eyes yet. Just close your eyes. Think about that number. Close your eyes still, but raise your hand if you got that number in your head. Okay? This is really good because about 6 of you raised your hand. This is actually real facts, real percentages. Most people will never even imagine that number in their head. Most people won't even think about it. Raise your hand if you have that number in your head. I want you to really put a number in your head. I don't care how much it is. It doesn't matter. Everyone should have their hands up. Now, whatever that number is in your head, do me a favor, and I want you to multiply that by 10. I want you to 10x that number. Whatever you thought was your stretch goal, multiply it by 10. Okay? Was that scary? Okay. Now I want you to think about this. Is how powerful your subconscious mind is. Somebody who multiplied that number by 10, did anybody immediately think of something that you would have to do differently if you were going to hit that number when you multiplied it by 10? Okay? All right. You, sir, right here in the white shirt. Hands up. Run to the stage really quick. Yep, you looking around. Yep, you. Yes, sir, you, right there. All right, give him a round of applause really quick. Okay, first, what's your name? Labrador. Nice to meet you. I promise you I won't bite. So, look, the number one fear in the world is not running out of money, believe it or not. It's public speaking. So the fact that he got up here, give him a round of applause. It's a scary thing to do. Okay. So you mentioned to me you thought of a number and you multiplied that number by 10. Okay, you did that. Give me one thing that you're going to have to do different if you hit that number. What did that exercise do for you?
What will I do? I would buy more cats. More cats.
Tell us about that.
I actually adopted 36 cats during the pandemic, and I was a huge person. Before I used to weigh 140 kilograms, now into 68 kilograms.
Now, that's powerful. We're curious, how did you do that? I bet a lot of people remember wondering.
I stopped eating all the favorite things I love.
And do you miss it a lot now?
No more. I also kind of I just love what I eat now.
I love it.
I don't eat a lot anymore.
Awesome. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. So I want you to catch something that he just said there. Now, he loved food. He stopped eating the food. I'm sure it was very tough when he first started. Now it's on autopilot. He doesn't even miss it. It's going to be the same thing with your financial habits, you all. The same thing with your financial habits. One of my favorite books to read is a book, I know it's written in multiple languages now. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And one of the things he talked about was set aside at least 10% of the money that you make. Notice I said at least 10% of the money that you make. Most people are not setting aside 10% of the money that they make. And when they do, they're doing it manually, which means they have to think about it each and every month. One of the things that I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you're setting aside at least 10% of what you earn, and I want you to, if you can, automate it. I don't want you to have to think about it. Now, at first, when you do so, you're going to wonder, well, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? And at first, you may not be able to for the first couple of months. But then I promise you, it'll be hard at first, but I promise you, you won't even notice it. Maybe 3 or 4 months down the line, you won't even notice it. So we want to set aside that money, at least 10% of your income. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to get your mindset right. Get your mindset right. As I mentioned, your money can only grow as high as your income. Your money can only grow as high as your mindset. So I want you to do me a favor and I want you to repeat this. It's only $1 million. It's only $1 million. It's only $1 million. Right? So why is that so important? That word only is so important because whatever you think will be hard to get to, you may never get to it. You have to trick your mind, and at first you're tricking your mind to realize that whatever money you're gonna make, it's going to come easy. Okay, one more thing I want you to repeat. It's going to come easy, and once you get to it, you're gonna look back and say, oh, that was easy, I'll just keep going. You don't wanna set a ceiling for yourself, okay? Repeat after me. Money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. Okay. Now, going back to my story, remember I was poor, wasn't making a lot of money. One of my checks was $80 for a month, and that's 80 US dollars for an entire month. That's it. That's it. I was struggling. I was new in sales. I was new as, my goal was to teach people about money, but I was poor. Okay? I could not pay my mortgage. I could not pay my bills with that $80. So you know what I did? I remember I went to a church and I said, okay, God, I can't do anything with this $80. So I'm just gonna give it all to God. I said, you're gonna have to multiply this $80 the way that you did the 2 fish and the 5 loaves. Because I don't know any other way. I gave them money. The next day, there was a raffle for a lot of people in my industry, and I didn't know I was in a raffle, but apparently everybody was entered into this raffle. I won. And I won over $500 that day. Now, $500 still didn't pay my bills, but what it did was it gave me faith, and it put a new definition of what it meant to multiply into my life. From that moment on, I believe every single dollar I invest in myself will multiply itself tenfold. Every dollar that I invest in myself will multiply itself tenfold. What does that mean? I started to believe in mentorship. I started to believe that there's always somebody who did it. Okay? In this country, how many of you know of someone who's making a lot of money? You don't have to know them personally, you know of someone. Okay? You've read a book, you've seen them on TV, him or her on TV. You saw them on whatever, a magazine, the news, doesn't matter. Okay? If they did it, what makes them any different than you? The only difference is they got guidance and they got mentorship. And it's the same thing that I want you to do. I want you to find somebody, or at least a book, who have done what you want to do. And what I want you to do is I want you to follow that person, and I want you to, guess what? Pay for mentorship. I know that's a scary word. Why would I want you to pay for mentorship? Isn't that a scam? Isn't that scary to give somebody your money? What if they don't teach you anything? Here's why I want you to pay for mentorship. It's more so for you mentally than it is for you financially. Here's a principle. You cannot charge what you are unwilling to pay. I'll repeat that. You can't charge what you're unwilling to pay. You know how many people come to me and say, hey, can I pick your brain? Well, sure, I have a mentorship. It costs this much money. I would love for you to pick my brain and learn from me. No, I don't want to pay you anything. I said, well, what are you looking to do? I want to coach other people. Okay, well, what do you want to charge them? Well, I want to charge them $1,000. You want to charge somebody else $1,000, but you're not willing to pay $1,000? And you expect someone to pay you? This is the law of the mirror. Okay, and I'm closing up pretty soon. I know they're hitting me. The law of the mirror. Life will give to you what you give to it. Life is a reflection glass. Okay, it's the law of the mirror. I had a financial advisor on my team. He was making about $40,000 a year. And he was struggling. I brought him on my team. He couldn't get one sale. He was horrible. 13 people in a row, they all said, I got to think about it. 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 So eventually he came to me and he said, I don't know what to do. Everybody has to think about it. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fly you to me and we're gonna role play for a day. And you're rarely gonna get, I wanna think about it again. He said, that sounds good. But guess what? Guess what he said next? I gotta think about it. I gotta talk to my spouse. So wait a minute. Thank you. I said, so wait a minute. Everyone is telling you you gotta think about it, and I just gave you an opportunity of a lifetime, and you passed up the opportunity, and now you have to think about it. Do you see a problem with that? He said, I didn't think about it that way, right? So here's the deal. When I said the reason why no one is responding to you is because the way that you're responding to life. He heard that and he immediately said, you're right. I'll talk to my spouse later. I'm flying. He flew up to see me. That year he went from $40,000 to $347,000 in 1 year. The next year he made over $500,000. And when he talked to me, he said it was that moment that he realized the way that he was responding to life. Okay? And I want to ask you that same question. Are you holding on to your seed, thinking that your seed is the harvest? Are you afraid to plant something in the ground? Notice I didn't say bury, because when you bury it, that means it's dead. When you plant it, that means it's going to sprout and grow. Are you afraid to plant something in the ground and have it come back? Okay? I got to end with this story. 2 more stories and I'm done. So, in the Bible, there's a story of the parable of the talents. Anybody ever heard of this story, parable of the talents? So there was one person that the master came and he gave each one a talent, which is money, according to their ability. So the first person he gave 1 talent. The next person he gave 2 talents. And then the next person he gave five talents. And then he went away. The person that he gave 1 talent was so afraid that he buried that talent. He was afraid, I don't want to lose it. What if I lost all of it? The master's going to be really mad at me. I have to protect it. I have to bury it. I have to just make sure nobody takes it. I have to protect it. I'm not going to do anything differently. The second person, he multiplied it to 4. And the third person, he multiplied it from 5 to 10. Okay? Now the master came back to collect his money. The person that he gave 1 to, he thought that the master would be happy that he didn't lose the 1. But guess what? He took the 1 from him and gave it to the one who multiplied it from 5 to 10. And not only that, he cast away the 1, the person who he gave 1 to, and said, you will be cast away where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You know what that means? The person that he gave 5 to, he was very pleased with because he doubled the money, and the person he gave 2 doubled the money as well. Now let me ask you a question. This is very serious. Who was the hero in that story? Just guess, shout it out loud. Who was the hero in that story? All right. I hear your answers. Great. Most people would say the one that he gave 5 that multiplied it to 10, but I have a different angle on that. That wasn't the hero of the story. The hero of the story was was actually the master. Why was the master the hero? Because the master did exactly what Chinkee was telling you to do earlier. The master created money, then he took that money and he invested in each one according to their ability. Which means he knew that the person he gave 1 to wasn't that great. It was a risk. That's why he only gave him 1. Then he went away, which means he was creating passive income and diversifying his assets and his cash flow while he went away. And then he did his due diligence. When the person who gave 1 didn't do well, he took it from him and gave it to the winner, which means that he didn't just invest and just not worry about it. He invested and did his due diligence to make sure it was a good investment, long term. See, what many of us think we have to do We think we have to work just to get paid one time. We work, and then we get paid 2 weeks. What I want you to do is flip your mindset and understand when you learn these principles, all you have to do is work hard one time and create something so that then you can get paid. We want to work, get paid. But what does that mean? That means you have to put in the work in an effort to create the asset to manually put your money into the investments and watch your money work for you. What we want to create is money babies. Okay? That means you want to let your parent money live long enough to reproduce and create a baby, money baby. And then you want to make that baby grow up enough to create money grandbabies. But too many of us spend the money before it has an opportunity to reproduce. So are you saving the money? Are you investing the money? Or are you spending it as soon as it get in and it never has a chance to reproduce? We want our money to make money multiple times off the same dollar. That's changing our thinking and changing and what we believe. Your active income, and it was said so well earlier, your active income should be transitioned into your passive income. The money that you work to get paid. Now, don't look down on a job, okay? Because your job is your first business partner. But use that income from the job to slowly transition it to the passive income, and you're going to look back on 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, a couple of years from now, and you're going to say those small decisions that I did today allowed me to change my generation. It allowed me to change my family, my kids' life has changed because of the decisions that I made today. My grandkids changed their life because of their great-great-grandmother, because of their great-great-grandfather, which is you. Are you going to build that legacy? My country changed because of the decisions that I made today. How many of you know that all it takes is one person that I'm speaking to today to turn this country around where it's no longer considered by anyone to be a third world country? All it takes is one. That's why I don't care if I'm speaking in front of 15,000 people or 5 people. It's always a chance that I'm speaking to that one person that's going to change the world. Is that one person you? Yes. There's no plan B, you all. It has to work or it has to work. And I'm going to close with this. There's a saying that says, burn the ships. Okay? Where does burn the ships come from? There was a war going on. Essentially, there was a lot of ships that was going through, and everyone was scared. They were like, well, what if this doesn't work? The enemy is greater than we are. They were afraid that they would not win the war. And you know what he said? He said, okay, do me a favor. There's no plan B. Burn the ships. Burn the ships means there's no turning back. From this point forward, there's no turning back. I will win or I will win. It has to work or it has to work. So I want you to stand up and repeat after me, and this is the last thing that we'll say. The first thing I want you to say is, I am a wealth creator. I am a wealth creator. Okay, now repeat this, you all. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. It has to work. It has to work. Or it has to work. I will change my country. I will change my country. I am the head and not the tail. I am the head and not the tail. I am the lender and not a borrower. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am above and not beneath. I am above and not beneath. I will burn the ship. I will burn the ship. Go to war. Go to war. Take no prisoners. Take no prisoners. Go out and claim what is ours. Go out and claim what is mine. And do it or die trying. All right. Look, you all, you are a giraffe. You are a giraffe. And stay to your feet as we close. You are a giraffe. You're a giraffe. That means your head is high. That means you see above the trees. That means there's nothing standing in the way of your dreams. There is nothing standing in the way of your vision. You see it very clearly. The problem is that when you stick your head down and you attempt to get permission and validation and approval from a turtle. Now, the turtle is not a bad person. The turtle has their own dreams, but the problem is that turtle can only see 2 feet in front of them. This is your dream, it's not their dream. This is your dream, it's not your family's dream. It's not your kids' dream. It's not your parents' dream. It's your dream, okay? The problem with sticking your head down too long is that the oxygen flows through the neck of a giraffe, which means that if they keep their head down too long, they can suffocate and pass out and even die. Some of you are alive, but you're walking around like the living dead. You're not hopeful. You're not believing because your environment is keeping you down and you're allowing your circumstances to dictate that outcome of your life. But no more. No more. You will be a world changer. This is your time. This is your season. And it starts now. Somebody say now. 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 Thank you so much. I'm Marvin Mitchell, and I appreciate you allowing me to speak today. Thank you.
All right. You all, everybody, thank you so much. You're such an inspiration. Dropping gems right and left, right? One more time, everybody, give it up for the man of the hour, Marvin Mitchell! All right, we would like to take a picture. All right, and of course, we're going to be calling all our keynote speakers in a while. So please do stick around, all right? Thank you so much, everybody. Can we please, one more time, give a round of applause for Marvin Mitchell, all right? You know what? This is such a privilege, everybody. To be honest, everything, all of everything that we're actually experiencing, having two of the best speakers, you know, RTD and of course Chinkee, all of these actually are, they cost a lot, to be honest, right? They cost a lot to be in this space, to be in this event, in this venue, everything that we're experiencing. We just wanted to really be grateful for Marvin and of course Octavia for being gracious, all right? Because to be honest, lahat ng to, all right, it costs a lot, but for a fraction of the cost, you know, Marvin has given so much. Not just all of this that we're experiencing, but all of the knowledge that has been imparted for us today. Right, Shem?
Yes, I do agree with you, Miss Ice. Actually, this event has been made possible because of the goodness of the heart of Marvin Mitchell. He really just is very passionate in sharing his knowledge, especially to the Filipino people. So once again, let's give it up to Marvin Mitchell, everybody. All right, so before we proceed to our next segment, Miss Ice, I think we should
we would like to thank our sponsors, all right? We would like to, of course, this event is not going to be possible without our major sponsors, Wealth Creators, and of course, Retirement Compass. That's our two major sponsors. But also, we would like to thank Fisher Gel. We would like to thank Nizero, Tusaran, Sansi Barley, Advantage Creative Media, Blooming Gales, Fern Sea, Adamy, and Sun Color.
All right, so why don't we call on stage for the next part of our program, Q&A. I know you're all waiting for this, so Chinkee, Real Talk Darbs, and Marvin Mitchell, let's all come up on stage.
Yeah, there you go. All right, everybody, this is the part of the program wherein we are going to ask some of our audience to ask some questions to our keynote speakers, all right? So they're going to have their perspective on some questions that you might have. So we're going to be asking a couple of people. Can I have some people to raise their hand if they do have a question for our speakers for today? Is there anybody who would like? All right, there you go. Do we have a mic for the audience? Do we have a mic? There you go, right. Okay, for our very first audience who's gonna ask some questions, can you state your name and where are you from? And then, fire.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Monday. I'm from Cardinal, Manila. And I Sir Chinkee. And Sir. And I would just like to ask, because since I'm a fresh graduate and I'm starting my own business, also I'm still employed. So the question is it wise to use my full-time job's salary to invest in my small business? Or should I try to mag-loan? That's my question.
Is the question clear, or would you like to have another?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right, perfect. So can we have? All right, I'm just gonna choose. Of course, who's gonna go first? Sir Chinkee, would you like to go first to answer?
Yeah, for people who are really aspiring to start your own business, I never encourage people to borrow money. It's just like driving your first brand new car. Who among you have experienced buying your brand new car? Okay, imagine buying your brand new car and you don't really know how to drive. What's the chances of you getting into an accident or scratch? I can still remember when I bought my first brand new car, and I had an accident and bumped the gate of our house. And I was so devastated, frustrated, disappointed, depressed because the gate did not move. So it took me a month to go think how down is the gate, how down is the gate. But actually, so I would really suggest you to borrow money, save up your money, save your own money, just in case you lose your money, you don't have to pay for interest. But if you just imagine if you borrow money and then you lose all the money and then you're paying off the interest, it's a reminder, a painful reminder of the mistake that you made. But you borrow money when there's already what we call as a proof of concept or minimum viable product. When you already are making a proof of concept already and there's a demand already for your product and services, by all means you should borrow money. Borrow at 5% or 3.5% using your credit card, you make 20%, you pay the 3.5, you make 16.5%. Does it make sense? Okay, good, great.
Thank you so much, Andre. All right, so can you have one more perspective? Sorry, we do have one audience. All right, can you state your name and of course, fire your question.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Ruby Odosi from World News. To Sir Marvin, can you share with us success stories of your client and what step did you give him to achieve his goal?
Yeah, definitely. I had just recently, actually, there was a person who joined one of my programs, and he was driving for Uber. Well, you all don't have Uber anymore right now. It's Grab, right? I learned that, right? So tried to order an Uber and realized I couldn't. But he was driving for Uber, and he had a job, but he moved to a different state to pursue his dreams. And it was coming very slow to him. And he used to be a former police officer. But he quit being a police officer. It was very dangerous. We were in a very dangerous, well, the United States is dangerous in a lot of places, but especially this city. It was the #1 crime place in the entire country. St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know if you know about that city. That's where I'm from, actually. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Look that up when you get a chance. But anyway, he left, and he was struggling to the point where he got an offer to go back into the police force. And because he was starting to give up, it's kind of, when you need to feed the family, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. and he almost went back to be promoted as a detective, which would have been a pay raise for him. But he decided not to. It was a crazy, risky decision because he believed in his dreams more than he believed in what was happening. See, what I realized is that the most critical time where a person is at risk is when you're comfortable. Because when you're comfortable and you're making just enough income, it's hard to turn down that income for a different opportunity. He almost passed up the opportunity to work with me, but he decided to work with me. And literally, I don't know what this is in Filipino pesos, you have to excuse me, but he went from making about 35,000 to 40,000 during that time frame to literally $300,000 within 3 months. And what I want to say about that, what does that mean to you? It just means when you have a dream that's big enough, still work, do what you have to do, but don't give up that dream for comfortable. Don't give up that dream for being mediocre, where normal people or mediocre people applaud themselves as being above average when they know they're not. I don't care what anybody else is doing. You know what dream you have, and never compare your dreams to somebody else's dreams. Go for it, and you'll be surprised with commitment, with hard work, and with effort. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can reach that goal. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. 100%. Do you have a follow-up question?
I do have a follow-up question, Mr. Chinkee. Which part of the chip method do you find more challenging?
Great question. It depends. No, it depends on the person. Like for example, in the first part of the creation, I really like what you just mentioned a moment ago. Do you know of people who's making probably 100,000 a month? Yes or no? Come on, talk to me, guys.
Yes.
Pina-burger na tayo, come on. May kakilala kayo who's making 100,000 a month?
Yes.
$500,000 a month? 1 million a month? 10 million a month? No, let me say, I've heard of, like Bill Gates, yeah. Yes or no? Yes. So what does it mean? Is it possible or not? Come on, talk to me. Very possible, yes or no?
Yes.
So it means saying they know something that we don't know. They're doing something that we're not doing. So what should we do? Sana all. We should try to learn. Then it gets nyo. Kailangan matuto lang tayo eh. Alam mo, yung essence sabi lang guys, help me. 2 times 2. 4 times, this is not a trick question, come and follow. 4 times 2. 8 times 2. How come we have the same answer? Because all of us inside this room knows the system of multiplication. If you only learn and know the system of the rich, follow the system of the rich, you will get the same answer and result.
Yes.
Wala pa kayong mga kamay dyan.
I don't know what you just said, but it resonated with me.
Look, that's the reason why I just want to challenge. I really like what you just mentioned. You know, a moment ago, your income will only grow as much as you do. Come to think of it, I just interviewed recently a billionaire, the owner of Ever Billena. Follow my YouTube channel and check it out. And there was one thing, Darbs, that guy told me that really changed my whole perspective. And he told me, you know what, Chinkee? What's the hardest? The hardest. Is that my card? The hardest is to make your first million. The first million will be the hardest. But listen, you know what he told me? The next ones are easy. What's the next hardest? The first 10 million. But the next ones is easy. What's the next hardest? 100 million. But the next ones is easy. What's the next hardest? First million. Next one is easy. And when he was saying that, I really reflected on my own personal finance and I would perfectly agree. But he also told me one thing that really caught my attention, my full attention. What's the difference from 1 million to 10 million? What's the difference? Aside from mindset, it's a zero. What's the difference from 10 million to 100 million? It's just a zero. 100 million to billion. Zero. The reason why you and I are having a hard time believing because you have never reached that market. But once you have a breakthrough in terms of your way of thinking, you will really have a breakthrough in terms of your way of earning. And for most of you, na sinasabi nyo dati, 20,000, hirap yan. Nung tinamaan mo 20, ano sinabi mo? Kaya mo ba? Did you go down? You went up. 50. Ay, kaya ko pala. Next is 100. Kaya ko pala. Next is, nag-reach nyo. So guys, ito lang no. It's not because Michelle, double M. More money. Darbs is here, and we're saying this. We're in the field of education. You reading my books, coming to my seminars will not make me rich. But if you learn and apply it in your life, it will make you rich.
That was so good, all right? I think there are a lot of silence, there's so much, a lot of things being absorbed, right? Realization. So do we have any more questions coming from our audience? Yes, please. Can you state your name and question? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jay Kim. I'm 29. I'm Filipino Korean. I just recently moved to the US. I'm sure that a lot of us can say, first of all, guys, I'm sure that a lot of us can say that, we all thank you so much for providing us so much value. I think that being in this room alone is just an honor for all of us. And that being said, guys, so the question is, recently there was a Bloomberg Business article stating that 70% of CEOs still experience imposter syndrome. And my question is, for all of you guys actually, until this day, having the kind of influence that you guys have, and obviously you guys influence many people, you guys also create content, I'm sure, obviously for your personal branding. So yeah, do you guys still experience imposter syndrome or feeling like what you do is not enough? And if anything, also, how do you get over that, especially during the lowest times when you feel as if, obviously as human beings, we still have our weak moments. What are things or actionable steps would you give us, whenever we do experience such moments in our lives?
Thank you so much. How about we start with, of course, RCD? So.
Very wonderful question. Thank you very much, Jay. Personally, if you're gonna ask me, I still feel that. I feel there are specific times where I feel like I'm not enough. Specific times where I feel like I'm about to fail in the dreams that I'm telling myself I'm not capable of achieving. And there's a difference between acknowledging the feeling and acting on the feeling. So I acknowledge the feeling that this is what I'm feeling as of the moment. But the way how I battle imposter syndrome is going on the specific reason why I'm doing this in the first place. So one of the reasons why in life things or people are not consistent is because of the reason why they're doing it. Anong dahilan mo ba't mo siya ginagawa? So I'll relate to my subject matter expert, which is content creation. If you think about it, content creation is applicable and the barrier of entry is so low. Like if you have a phone and an internet, which guess what, everybody here in the room has, you are now capable of playing the game. And we all know that if you play the game well, you can win in life. But the problem is, if the barrier of entry is so low in that it's so accessible, how come at least one of our 10 friends are successful content creators? Right? Why? The only reason is because people are not able to do things long enough for them to become successful. The consistency of why they're doing it. So most of the time, the reason why people would want to be in content creation is because they want to get rich and they want to get famous, which is by all means, why not? Right?
But it has to be more than that. Why do you want to become rich? For the people that you want to help. Maybe for your sister, for your kids, or maybe for the life that you want to give yourself because you deserve it. It has to go more than that. So going back to your question, why is it that I would still feel the imposter syndrome? It's because I forget the reason why I'm doing it in the first place. And then I just go back to that. In content creation, the reason why you don't do this for a long period of time is because maybe this is not something that you really want to do. You don't ask yourself the why. And most of the time, asking the why is very important before knowing the what. Kasi yung why mo ang dahilan, why there would be specific times where you want to quit, but you won't because you understand that this is the reason why you're doing it. Maybe for the smile of your kid, maybe for the comfort of your family. This is maybe for you to have, because you know to yourself that you have a voice that you can share it to the world. So when I feel things like those, I just go back. So meditation, I don't know if you guys meditate here, like who meditates here? Like top 1%, the top 1% of people in the world, almost every one of them does meditation. So meditation is the muscle for is the gym for the mind. And when you meditate, you basically go back to your roots. You silence the voice and you go back and you focus on one thing. Most of the time, it's the breathing. Like, that's how you stop yourself from thinking of things. You just go back in the moment, in the breathing. So, me, I go back to my why. And once that is, I tend to basically be able to refocus, re-energize. So, mind you, it's okay to feel. Okay lang maramdaman yun. But it's not okay to act on it. And acknowledging what you feel is okay. And after that, go ahead, pass through it, and then do the things that you needed to do for you to become successful at this. That's my answer.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Jay. I need one more person, right? Can we pass the mic?
Hello everyone, my name is Fem. I only have very simple question. Okay. What is one biggest lesson that you have learned from your failure and one biggest lesson that you have learned from your success?
Let's go for Marvin.
Yeah, sure. Great question. One of the biggest lessons that I learned from my failures is that I needed those failures in order to have my success. What I mean by that is I used to be afraid of failure until I realized that being afraid of failure kept me within that same fear. I don't know, every millionaire that I know, especially in the United States, has went through adversity and has lost something before they eventually gained something. Me, myself, personally, I did some dumb stuff. I remember when I invested, it was $150,000 and I only had $200,000. So 75% of my money I invested in a hot trend that one of my friends told me about, and I knew nothing about it. Which, side note, lesson is invest in what you attempt to understand and that you study. Invest in things, don't invest in anything you don't know anything about, but I did. And I lost. That company went bankrupt, and I lost that entire $150,000 overnight. Boom. That was 75% of all the money that I had. But I believed in it because my friend told me about it. But what I learned from that, a lot of people would have just stopped at that point and would have said, I'm never investing in anything again. But what it taught me is that I needed to know about a little bit about what I was doing before I made dumb decisions. And I began to study finances, and that habit of studying allowed me to be successful in the next endeavors. And did I lose more along the way? Yeah, I kept making small losses, but every loss I learn from. There's a quote by a guy named John Maxwell that says, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, because you never truly lose, like Darbs said, if you just keep going with consistency and time. And what I've learned from success is never get too overconfident. Never let pride happen. Pride comes before the fall. I'll never think that I can't lose it. And I have made it, and I have lost it. I have become a millionaire, and I didn't put enough money aside for taxes, and I've lost it. So I have to learn to be consistent and diligent no matter how much successful I am. And I have to evaluate everything that I do. If I lost, I'm going to evaluate it and see what was the seed of it, what was the seed that was in that adversity that's going to help me get to success. If I'm successful at something, I'm going to take notes. What did I do? What memorial am I going to set aside where when I'm struggling again, I can look back on and remember that I have overcome before? Because I believe that we are overcomers by our testimony, and I want to keep that testimony close to me so I can learn from it the next time I go through a trial. Because there will be a next time, but it won't be as hard as the last time because I've learned how to overcome, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the question. It's very nice. And I want to change people's relationship with failure because I myself is scared of failure as well before. But when you come to a specific level of when you're surrounded by performers, one thing I realize is their relationship with failure is totally different. One thing that I realize is people are not actually scared of failure. They're scared of the judgment when they fail. So there's a major difference between failing and being scared of it and the judgment of the people upon you when you fail. And that's the reason why most people are not actually applying or doing things that they want to do, even if it meant for them to fail, is because they overvalue people's opinion too much. Okay, that's one of the reasons why people buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. And basically because we're prisoner of other people's opinion. And if there's something that I realize is failure is something that it's not something that you see, but if it happens, you have to embrace it. Because you learn faster when it hurts. When your mom said that mag-ingat ka sa pagbabike, or you be careful when you're riding the bike, you said, yeah, sure. But when you fall, you felt the pain, you got bruised. The next time your mom tells you, mag-ingat ka, be careful when you ride the bike, you would say yes. And you know that that yes comes from the heart because you know how painful it is. So there are certain things that requires us to go through, especially failure. But one thing I want also everybody to understand, like, it's smart when you learn from your mistake, but it's even smarter to learn from the mistakes of others so you don't have to commit the mistakes yourself. So be very observant, be very vigilant, and I believe failure is one of the reasons why we're able to, it built us, it built me, for me. And through failure, I was able to turn pain into power. Yeah.
That's a good. Since you talked about already about the bike thing, let me pick it up from there. Yeah, the bike thing. Guys, as a matter of fact, I think most of us are getting more from this session rather than what we did a moment ago. Do you all agree?
Agree.
Ako lang yata nag-agree. Sige, I agree. Hey guys, ito lang. I want to teach you one thing. If there's only one thing that I can really add value to tonight, para hindi naman sayang yung time niyo rito. You invested time to come here. Who among you wants to learn how to overcome the fear of failure? Raise up your hands. Okay, remember, before you take the bike ride, what will be the possibility, the things that can happen? You fall off it, and when you fall off, what will happen next? You will feel what? Pain, right? You know that it might happen, right? Have you tried riding a bike? Yes or no? Yes. Did it happen? Did you fall? Did you feel the pain? And then what did you do after? Got back up and then try again. And then you fell again, you experienced pain, and you never stop until such time you learn. Question, why didn't you stop? Wala, trip ko lang. Tigas sa ulo ko. Come on, talk to me. Why didn't you stop?
You want to learn to ride the bike.
Because you want to learn how to ride a bike.
Yes.
You want to learn how to overcome failure? Yes or no?
Yes.
The reason why I never stop because the desire to learn is greater than the fear of what? Failure.
Correct.
If your desire to succeed in life is greater than your fear of failure, you will overcome any type of failure. But if the fear of failure is greater than your desire, the moment you experience failure, you will stop.
Correct. Solid. That was pretty solid, everybody. All right, before we wrap up, I think we do have one final question for Marvin. Do you have any final question on this table? Do you have any other question? Can we give the mic? All right, there you go.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a question for Sir Dar. How do you see freelancers evolving in the Philippines, and what opportunities does this present to our financial growth?
I truly believe that because freelancing is so close to me because my sister is also a freelancer. She's able to get a job, and she was from Dubai as well, and now she's earning more than what she was earning in Dubai. Crazy, and she's able to spend time with her family. So the freelancing landscape in the Philippines, I think it would be the next boom, if I'm not mistaken, from BPO to freelancing. And what's just good about freelancing is that because the characteristics of Filipinos, the efficiency of them, how to work, and being able to really get shit done is so high. And that's the reason why we will be in demand. And in my own point of view, it could be one of the reasons why we would become a first world country because of the income that we try to bring in. And that's why I'm a true believer of freelancing. And I myself is also an advocate of it, and I'm trying to even hire lots of freelancers in my team as well. I mean, shameless plug, if you're a sales closer, I'm hiring some in my team. So going back to that, but the problem that would arise in the future is that if there's a demand, there will come up to a point where it becomes a commodity. It will come to a point that it becomes a commodity. And how would you differentiate yourself from the pack? Is if you have online presence, if you have a personal brand. And why would people choose you other than the other people? And most of the time, they won't find out, aside from what do you call this, if it was a referral. But if you wanted to build an agency of your own and stuff in the future, it's very, very important to put yourself out there. And guess what? What's the good news? It's free. And it's called creating content in the internet. Yeah.
I'll speak on that too. This is really the reason why I came to the Philippines from the United States. It was really because of my team, mostly freelancers that are on my team, and the work is just so amazing. The relationships that we built were just so amazing that I said I have to just come and see this for myself in person. And I will tell you this: I've hired so many Filipino freelancers, and I haven't had to let many people go. It's amazing. I got, in fact, I just got to give a shout out to my first ever virtual professional is in this room, Ryan. Ryan, if you'll stand up. And when Ryan started, I had one virtual professional, and now I have over 30 within all of my companies. And let me tell you this. One of the things that I've learned is there's something that's very different and very special and very unique. And I agree with Darbs that this will be a first world country. And I do believe it will be because of this. And I'll tell you why. I said, wow, this works so great with the Philippines. Let me attempt to do virtual professionals in this country. And I tried maybe 4 or 5 other countries. And guess what? None of them stuck. None of them lasted. And I said, they have nowhere near, they're great people, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about them, but they have nowhere near the talent level, the relationships, the efficiency, the honesty, the integrity of this community. The second reason why I believe that almost everyone should look to get a side hustle in this country, in the freelance space, is because most of the world is behind on the capabilities of what's possible in this space. And guess what? It's becoming more and more and more popular. I'm from the US. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I'm telling you, it's a topic of conversation that's going around now to the likes that I've never seen before. Most of the United States are hiring virtual professionals for roles such as, well, they can work in my call center. They can help me with emails. They can do, not knocking the tasks, they're good tasks, but we're catching on to, there's a lot more to freelancing. It's not just making a graphic every once in a while. It's not. I have looked to, and what I'm communicating to my US team back home, US family back home, my friends and everyone else is, you don't need to look for just someone to do your graphic or someone to edit a paper. I hired my COO of my company that was a virtual professional. Jab, stand up. Now, when I started Wealth Creators is doing now already a couple $1 million a year. The only person that I had on my team was Jab. And I said, Jab, I don't have time to build this company. I'm working on Compass Retirement Solutions. It's my retirement firm. It's doing a lot of money. I need you to build this team, and I'm going to support you in that. And Jab took that and ran, and almost everybody that I've hired on Wealth Creators have come from Jab, and some from, I don't know if Ice is still in the room. Ice, of course, Ice. Shout out to Ice. She's also a great person when it comes to that. But Jab was able to identify so much talent. Now, what I'm teaching people in the US is that you don't have to manage 10 different people and 10 different freelancers. You can find one good person, and that one good person could be the person who can find the talent of people who've never even thought about being freelancers. Most of the people that are on my team as freelancers now were not freelancers before. Their mind is open to being a freelancer now. So why do I say all of that to you? Is that I don't want you going on onlinejobs.ph, just posting a little job all the time for the lowest amount of wages for $4 an hour US. I don't want you doing that anymore. I want you to, life will pay you what you willingly believe you're worth, okay? Double your prices, not for us, but for everybody else. I'm just kidding. Double your prices. You will be surprised. If I see somebody that said they're $10 versus $4, I look at, CEOs will look at value sometimes more than they'll look at price. We're gonna wonder, why does this person value themselves so much? And we're gonna look into it, and guess what? We will clearly pay double, because we understand that sometimes a person that you pay more, that's worth more, they believe in themselves more, they're gonna be triple times value in their company as a person who barely believes in themselves. So my number one thing I'll leave you with as freelancers is that I want you to believe in yourself. Believe in the prices that you charge. Charge what you're worth. People will willingly pay you once you willingly believe that you can do it. And the world is expanding, so you better get into this right now, because this is a boom, and it will take over the entire world, and it will start right here in the Philippines.
I'll just add regarding that. For the practical and financial aspect of that, the reason why we went into freelancing 12 years ago, 13 years ago, because I just simply computed the time. Normally in Filipino here, especially we live in somewhere in Antipolo. It's kind of the traffic there. One time I bought a puppy. When I went home, it became a full-grown dog. That's how bad the traffic is here. So basically, we computed at least 4 hours a day times 20 days. That's 80 hours in a month divided by 24. That's 3 days in a month. You're stuck in traffic. Times 12 months. That's 1 month in a year. You're stuck in traffic. You just imagine 1 month without going down the car. That's wasted time. That's number one. And especially if you know how to compute your money, your value in terms of your cars. I know how much I'm valued per hour. So I'm losing a lot of money. So that's number one. Number two, for practical financial reasons, transportation costs, food costs, the way you dress up, you have to buy more or less, people will pay at least 300, 400 pesos a day for food and transportation alone. That's 400 times 20 days, that's 8,000 a month. Is that right? 8,000 a month times 12 months, that's 96,000 pesos a year. You didn't still include Starbucks in it, Starbucks. That's amazing. So I've been talking to corporations, companies hires me, and then prior to the pandemic, I was telling them, why don't you do a setup, work from home setup? No, we don't believe that. They will be lazy, they won't be doing things. And you know what happened? When the pandemic came, they were forced to do it. And then I went back to the same company. Right now, 70% of them are work from home. Because they realize, number one, they do it faster. And in reality, guys, all of you works for a company. And we have several floors. In reality, you don't see each other. You still meet each other via Zoom or basically you don't see each other, right? So companies right now realizing if they have a setup, you know how much they pay from their overhead expenses. They're not paying OPEX for rental, 30 to 40%. So they're saving 30-40% of their operational expense because they're not paying for rental. Number two, they're not paying for the internet access also. So there's a lot of Tagalogin ko na lang, naubusan ako ng English. Guys, kung ayaw nyo, mapag-iiwanan kayo, maniwala kayo. Oo. I'm sure marami sa inyo natatakot kasi because I have a fixed salary, I have a fixed income. You know what? Keep your job, do side hustle, wait until such time that you have matched your income or double your income by your side hustle. Do it for another 6 months to 1 year. Make sure it's stable. That's the time you decide if you want to go full-time or not. I'm not encouraging you to jump into freelancing and leaving your salary right now. Do you follow? Yeah. So just try it out, do it on the side, and after that, feel your way in.
Amazing, amazing. All right, so before we actually wrap up, did you enjoy everybody? Was it valuable? I'm just gonna tell you one story before we wrap up and ask our keynote speakers to promote whatever they need to promote. A little backstory. I lost my child last year, and Marvin is the first person to give me a job. So can you give a lot for Marvin? So do you have anything to promote?
Yeah, if you like what you saw, you can go ahead and don't skip ads. You can watch my vlogs. Honestly, I'm just a part-time content creator na lang ngayon. And I'm a full-time entrepreneur. And I also teach content creation as well. And I have a gift for everyone. Gusto ba ng gift? Yes! So I'm giving away a free ebook about content creation. You can go ahead and download it at rtdca.io/ebook. That's it. So RTD Creator Academy.io/ebook. You can download there right now. And content creation about relevant social issues because that's what I do blogging, not just most of them. This is what I do, but I analyze it in a way where it's educated. So follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok at Real Talk Darbs. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Right. And of course, Sir Chinkee.
Okay. Seriously, who among you have read my books already? Can you please raise up hands? FYI, only intelligent people read my books. So if you want to be more intelligent, and I have good news. I actually, one of my book here, it's called Diary of a Ruby. It's just in English, it's Diary of a Beggar or a poor person. It's so that book in the Philippines sold over almost 2 million copies already. Yeah. So guys, if you haven't read that book, and I have a bundle already, that's a total of 6 books already. If any one of you is interested to read those things that can really. By the way, chip method, did you like the chip method? Yes. That's only one chapter of one of the books. That's only one chapter of one of the books. So if any one of you is still interested, good news. Tonight and today, I'm going to give 70% off. 70% off. The original price is 1,200. But for today, it's only 500 pesos for all of you guys. And you will also get the Econ box for free. Wow. Oo. So if you're interested, after this, go out. I will sign all the books for you. Sa mga freelancers, guys, panalo-panalo yan. Guys, ito lang ang encouragement ko sa inyo. You make good money. You make good money, but you spend most of your money, believe me.
That's awesome. I don't really have much to promote. I will tell you, follow me on Instagram first. It's Marvin Mitchell Official. That's MarvinMitchell Official. So if you couldn't find me earlier, there was an E. I did a typo on that, so it's just Marvin. Can't spell my own name apparently. So it's Marvin Mitchell Official, no E. Second thing is on YouTube. You know what? I saw these two, and I said I have to get a YouTube channel and start doing something differently. I'm not doing the things right, so I do have a YouTube channel now. It's just called The Thriving Money Show. So if you type in The Thriving Money Show, Marvin Mitchell, I do an episode once a week. So this is something new. So make sure you support in that. And last but not least, where's Rhea? Great. If you're looking to get involved in freelancing, everyone can attack Rhea and say, hey, this is my skill set. And Rhea's our HR person. So she's gonna find some talent and get some jobs, hopefully. So with that being said, we all really do appreciate you. I know that we put this together. I decided that I was coming to the Philippines, you all, less than 2 months ago. So this entire thing was put together just very, very quickly. And I have to say, I had absolutely nothing to do with the organization of this great event. So my team, they worked more hours, they stayed up late. I was begging them to say, hey, get some rest. But guess what? They put this together on their own, and I walked into this beautiful event for the first time and was able to see the magic that could happen when a team can actually work together. So can we give my team a round of applause? And last but not least for me, you all showed up. And one of the things I believe is 80% of success in life is just showing up and just getting in the room. You just never know the one thing you might hear or the one person that you might collaborate and partner with. You just don't know. So give yourselves a round of applause for showing up.
All right, thank you so much. It's time for our picture taking with the panelists. I would like to ask some of the people from the Wealth Creators and also from
Can I call on Miss Ria and Jessica, Rio, and Octavia, of course. Chin. Yes, can we call on Compass and WCL team? Please come up on stage.
All right. Gather everybody on the front, everybody on the team, Wealth Creators. I think I see a lot of people at the back. Also, while they're coming in here, I would like to give a shout out to my friend
Wala
Roby,
kang jacket.
Roby P, for making this happen, for bringing, RTD and the
Pwede raw,
Thank
wala
you so
kang
much.
jacket.
All right, please don't forget, all right? So all those people who's going to stay, not just you're going to be able to purchase the book of Sir Chinkee, we're going to give you some giveaways, amazing giveaways at the end of the show.
Yes, please make sure to stay for a little while because we will be taking a selfie video with Marvin Mitchell, everybody. And of course, we will also be announcing the winners of the Facebook and Instagram contest. Can we take a video, everyone, and let's say, what would you like to say?
Don't want to be in bed, please leave safe right now. Alright, let me do this quick. Can we turn down the music? Can you hear me? Let me know, make sure you hear me. This is content, you all. Okay. Hey, Wealth Creators, it's Marvin Mitchell. I am a Hall of Fame financial advisor. And guess what? I want to help you scale your business. If you're a six-figure business owner or more, guess what? It might be easier for you to make money, but it's hard to keep money without financial literacy. So I want to teach you financial literacy. I want to teach you not only how to make more money, but how to keep more of that money. And I also want to teach you how to scale your business using wonderful, intelligent virtual professionals from the Philippines to take your business to new heights. You don't have to be a business owner to take advantage of this, but you do have to want to grow, and you do want to build generational wealth for your family and for your family's family. So if that's you, what I want you to do is meet me in my next webinar. All you have to do is click this link and show up. 80% of success is showing up. So we want you to click the link, show up, and I'm going to help you to take your business to the next level, right? Right. All right, go ahead, Wealth Creators. Let's make it happen.
One more thing we want to say, when Marvin says high energy, you're going to say high income, all right? Can we do that?
High energy. High income. High energy. High income. High energy. High income. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much to our keynote speakers. All right, so for everybody who's going to purchase the book of Sir Chinkee, we're going to place, I think, a table where he can also sign those books, all right? All right. Outside, you're going to be able to purchase the book, and of course, I think all of our giveaways is going to be also handed over once you actually step outside, right? And Shem, do we have the winners?
Yes, so Miss Ice, we have 2 winners from Instagram and 2 winners from Facebook. So, trouble please for our first Instagram photo contest winner. It's Atomy Jane Manorina. Once again, Atomy Jane Manorina. Okay, so please come here.
One, two, three. Other one.
All right, we'd like to call RTD and Marvin. Can you actually step on stage so that we can take the picture of the three keynote speakers? Thank you. All right.
Okay, once again, for our first Instagram winner, we have Ate Jane Mandarina. Please approach Pat. Pat, can you please raise your hand?
Yeah, Pat, the only curly girl.
Yes, our very beautiful curly haired girly.
Yes.
Okay, so for our next Instagram winner, we have Camille Campo. You have won 1,000 pesos e-wallet balance for GCash. Okay, once again, just approach back. Okay.